Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Luka stream. If it's your first time here, a double welcome to you, and also, I love you. Hello. We're gonna finish the second case today. I'm very sleepy. I just woke up. My internal clock woke me up just on time to start the stream on time today. So that's good. Lemongrab is back. Lemongrab is here. Wait, Needle, you got a new cotter pin? Hold on. I got that. Oh. Cotter pin and Tiger Lily. That's good. That's quite good. Hey, I'm gonna unmute on Discord. Let's talk to Mina. Hello, Mina.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. I just had to grab my drink real quick. I'm brewing coffee as well, because I just realized that we're going up against Godot, and I need coffee while I'm doing that.
Exactly. It's thematically appropriate.
I need to start the video game, because I always forget to do that before the stream. Oh no, did I accidentally click the mic button and open sound settings? Please tell me I didn't do that. Windows, please. Hold on, I have to say hello to everybody. Hello, Val and Needle. Good morning, Worthy. Hello, Raven. Did I say Zarboil already? Hello, Zarboil. And Cookie. I think that's everybody. Hold on. I have to press button. I should plug in my controller too, so it actually I just woke up, Mina.
It's okay. I feel you.
I'm
Hello, everyone.
Somewhat sleepy. My internal clock was kind enough to wake me up like 4 minutes before 4 o'clock, so I could start the stream on time. I set my alarm for like 3 o'clock. Apparently, I just slept entirely through it. And just didn't notice it. Needle, your cats are so cute. Tiger Lily's very pretty. Have I eaten anything? No, I'll probably like stuff a bagel in my gob on a break or something. As I am wont to do. Why do I have 3 new items in my inventory? Are those from House Flipper? I was playing House Flipper again last night. House Flipper is very fun, and I'm excited to stream it on Friday. There we go. Game up. I need to get game to Mina.
So that we can game together.
We got a game together. I have to fix my audio levels too, because it is very loud in my ears. Which is obviously such a sadness to hear Ace Attorney music loud. Okay. I'm ready. I'm good. I'm good to go. Do I have Lukami on? I do. Hell yeah. Where is the video game? Oh no, I have Mina's Talk Spray. Oh no! Go away.
Oh no!
Mina's flush form is not here. Alright. Alright. I'm very frustrated because apparently we could have actually finished this case on Monday. Because my dad's not starting work until 9:30 this week.
Oh, well, dang.
Yeah, I'm kind of
cap
frustrated about that.
Cap it off tonight, move on to case 3. With a bit of elbow grease, we might be able to make it through the first half of case 3.
Is there 4 in this one?
There's 5 in total.
Oh, okay.
The fourth case is shorter, though.
Alright, well, so I will say the other game with 5 cases has the best 5th case. So I'm excited. Oh, I have to voice Luke today. It's a good thing I'm just waking up and totally have energy for voicing Luke. Oh my god, there's a typo in the stream title. Hold on, I have to fix that. I just noticed. I don't know, I don't even know what the typo was anymore. Alright, I have to take a sippy. Hold on, I have to be ready. Apparently all Needle's cat Tiger Lily does is bite and eat and barf and hunt lizards. That's the life, ain't it? I wish that was my life. Aside from the barfing, I don't really like barfing all that much. Alright. I am ready. My sis? I could have sworn I heard Mia's voice. So then, she's still alive inside your heart.
Mickey boy.
Oh, Miss Delight.
Is it true that the detective is the real killer?
To be honest, we don't have any definite proof. But he's the only one who could have done it.
But wasn't he at Lily Taylor that night?
Not to mention, we don't exactly know his motive. I mean, why would Detective Atme want to kill Kane Bullard? I like how Phoenix actually has no idea. He's just like, yeah, this kind of makes sense, I guess. Let's accuse this guy of murder.
He's the bluff king.
Oops, it's almost time. Better get back to the courtroom. I need to find some solid proof. And it's gotta happen sooner rather than later. It's a good thing it's already in our evidence. We just have to actually figure out what the evidence is. No, Desiree's earrings are tires, like from a motorcycle. Now then, this court is back in session. Mr. Luka Étoile, please take the stand. Well, how do you do, Sir Lawyer? I never would have thought to see you acting so recklessly. I couldn't let them hand down your verdict just yet. Not when it would have given you your perfect alibi. An alibi by the name of Mask Damask. I'm sorry. I'm afraid even the great Luka Étoile has no idea what you mean. Of course, I have been in the next courtroom ever since 10 o'clock this morning. I'm afraid there's no way I can know what's been going on in here. You've been in the defendant's seat all day, correct? Being tried as Mask Damask. Indeed. It's truly child's play to fool the ignorant masses. Not only did the poor fools ask me to protect their valuables, they even gave me a generous reward upon returning their own property to them. Take this red diamond ring that sparkles upon my divine finger, for example. Sure is convenient that he described it as a red diamond, huh?
He's signposting.
He sure did just call it a red diamond. So it directly links to one of our pieces of evidence. So you continue to insist that you are, in fact, Mask Damask. Of course! Very well then, look at me. Let us begin with this simple question. On October 12th at 1 a.m., Kane Bullard was murdered. Where were you at that time? One without knowledge lacks even the knowledge that he should be ashamed of himself. But don't worry, I will not hold it against you, Sir Judge. Thanks.
Alright, Mr. Atme. The night of the murder. Speak. We're all ears.
As you wish, Sir Prosecutor. Oh, I just remembered what I have to say sometimes, too. I was stealing the urn as Mask Damask, just as I announced I would. I had more than enough time to prepare. It was a pathetically easy job. A photograph contains no words, but in this case, one turned out to be my witness. The time at which the camera captured Mask Damask was the same time as the murder. It seems the main point of discussion will be this photo of the crime scene. Everything else up until now was all part of his plan. There has to be a secret to this picture as well. Even the great masked mask cannot be in two places at once. Now then, if you'll excuse me, I have a verdict to receive. Unfortunately, Mr. Attorney, we still have to do your cross-examination. A fool is too foolish to know that he is a fool. I heard that from a courtroom somewhere. This German lass said it. I think he's trying to say that you're full of it, Nick. The only thing that's full of it is his alibi. Alright. God, that was such a Francisco line. What the fuck? Okay. A photograph contains no words, but in this case, one turned out to be an eyewitness. The time in which the camera captured mask to mask was the same time as the murder. I mean... It's the same time, but we don't know that it's the same date. But it seems premature to immediately point that out, so I'm gonna press stuff. So this photograph is the proof, correct? Indeed it is! And the man in the photo is certainly wearing a mask. That is why I am called Mask to Mask. But conveniently, that also means that there is no way to tell who this really is. What do you mean?
Are you saying that this is not, in fact, Luka Étoile? That could be an accomplice dressed up as Mask to Mask to create an alibi?
Yes? Oh, what an interesting idea! Are you saying that I, Lone Wolf Luke, had an accomplice? We don't know that he had an accomplice. I mean, they did mention his secretary before, right?
Yeah, but she's not a character.
But we don't have a profile of his secretary. If Luke Étoile was at KB Security during the murder, then the Mask to Mask in this picture has to be a fake. Then there really was an accomplice. But right now, I have no idea who it was. I don't have any idea right now either. Baseless objections are just what that guy wants. There's got to be another way, and I'm going to find it. I like how he didn't actually say that he was letting it go and didn't answer Godot's question. It just ended.
Yeah. He's like, am I assuming your stunned silence is a no?
Yeah, basically. Okay. So the game wants us to believe that there's an accomplice. But we basically know... No, that's not necessarily true. I believe Adrian Andrews hired you at one point? That's right. That was over 20 days ago, if I'm not mistaken. You sent the calling card to Lordly Taylor 10 days before the heist. That would mean you sent out the card after you began your security watch, right? Indeed, there was no reason why I couldn't do both jobs at once. And it was the perfect opportunity to steal my latest target. I see. You truly are evil, aren't you? Yes, evil is what I am. Hey, Nick, isn't there something odd about this? Detective Atney was always proud of his ace detective skills, right? But if the urn was stolen from Lordly Taylor while he was the only one watching it, he'd have no way to maintain his perfect ace detective persona. That's a good point. You know, that's true. It is kind of odd. Yeah.
You already pressed everything, right?
No, we haven't pressed everything. We still have 2 things left to press.
Okay, keep pressing then.
So by photograph, you mean this piece of evidence here. Is that correct? Indeed it is! That is it! The very thing that proves I committed the crime! The very thing that proves you committed the crime. When you think about it, it's really odd. You say that almost as if you had this picture taken on purpose.
He was very simply caught by the very camera that he had set up. We all have days like that.
Indeed, it turned out that there was no such thing as the perfect crime after all. Life is truly an ironic thing, a sad blue melody. Looks like I'd better gather more information for now. If he's truly the killer, there's got to be something phony in that photo.
That's a bookmark. Come back to that after you press everything.
Yeah, so we present the photo there.
Oh, wait, you gotta go back and press that one again.
Oh, do I?
Yeah, Luke at me is all about pressing. You gotta work on your pressing skills for this entire half of the trial.
I press and then I get more info and then I go back to that and press that again. Right, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That mechanic. About the camera that took this photograph. Oh, come now, it's all too clear what you're thinking. Huh? You think that I altered the timestamp on the photograph, don't you?
I'm afraid that's impossible. The camera was set up by Luka Étoile, and on top of that, it was Luka Étoile's staff that printed that picture's data. Unfortunately for the defense, there's no way that picture could have been altered.
That's actually really convenient for us, Godot. Thank you for telling us that. I see. It looks like I'd better find something else that could be suspicious. So, this alibi is false? It has to be, or he couldn't have killed Mr. Bullard at KB Security. But I'm not really spotting anything unusual. There are two possibilities. Either the mask in the photo was a fake, or the photo itself is. Yes. Correct. Okay, let's see. Okay, there we go. Lordly Taylor provided that camera. There's no way I could have tampered with it. That means I could not have killed Kane Bullard unless I had an accomplice. Come on, think long and hard about that night. The basement warehouse and this picture that supposedly captures it. It's got to be here. Isn't there something funny about this picture? Yeah. It doesn't have a date on it, sir. I am implying that this picture is a fake. You bet I am. There's definitely something strange about this picture. We took a look around the basement warehouse that night before the theft took place. This statue isn't there.
Yeah,
And there's something in this photo that doesn't match my memory of that night. Very well, then let's hear what you have to say. What about this photograph do you find funny? So should I present the paint?
Yeah, the little paint splotch.
Okay. The funny part is right here. Why this is a bloodstain. Even the judge is calling it a Danganronpa bloodstain. Ah, blood! Now this case is interesting. Not exactly.
You know what I find interesting about this case?
What?
This is one of the very few cases in the entire series where the murder weapon doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, I don't even know what the murder weapon is.
None of us do. It could be any. There's so many heavy objects in the office. It could be any one of them, and it doesn't matter because that's not material to the mystery of this crime.
Yeah, dude's just dead, and that's all we have to figure out. Not exactly. The stain is actually pink paint. Oh, just paint, and peach colored at that.
What kind of pizzas are you eating?
Yeah. Well. I wonder if Danganronpa's blood is pink because of Ace Attorney. Is that possible?
I don't know. That'd be funny. I mean, they have stated that Ace Attorney was an inspiration for it, so.
Yeah, like that. It's like the exact shade of pink as that paint, and then you have the judge here saying that it was blood. I don't know. That seems like too much of a coincidence for it to be a coincidence. From blood to peaches. The judge sure loves going on his wild tangents. No, it's absolutely a censorship thing, but there's no reason that it had to be bright fucking pink as opposed to any other color. The problem with this photograph is not the paint. The problem is, when you consider the layout of the basement warehouse, it turns out that something that should be there is nowhere to be seen. Well, Mr. Wright, what is supposed to be in this picture instead of the paint stains? The statue. Also, did they really have to censor it in Danganronpa?
I think so. Well, Japan's got a weird thing about blood, because in No More Heroes, the Japanese version, everyone just explodes into black particles instead of blood. In Metal Gear Rising, all the cyborgs and enemies have white blood instead of red blood, so that they don't have to show, fountains of red blood on screen.
Oh, yeah.
It's a thing. It's a consistent thing in Japan.
I mean, yeah, it can be a censorship thing and have been inspired to be that color for a different reason. Those two things can coexist at the same time. The supervisor of the treasure exhibit stated the following. Well, oh, yeah, this is a flashback. Yeah, the stain thing. The statue's there because of the stains. I myself was there the night the theft took place, and saw the statue in that spot. If this picture was truly taken on that night, then that statue should have been there. So, the statue was... So the photo's taken after? Is that right? No. Yes.
Keep going. When I went there the day after the theft, that statue of the old bag was sitting in the corner.
That old bag? Perhaps it was somehow pushed there accidentally. Your Honor, the statue was slightly larger than yourself and quite heavy. It would take more than an accidental push to move it that distance.
Ha! In that case, can you prove it?
Wait, is the blood red in the American version of Rising?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't... It's been so long since I played that game, I have no memory of it.
There's a throwaway line on one of the codecs that it's like an enhanced biofuel that's like crimson color.
Yeah, it's not actually blood.
Yeah.
That's like the same thing as like Nier. That's the same thing as Nier Automata. That does that too.
I think they're all references to the movie Alien, because in Alien all the androids have white blood.
No. The aliens don't have white blood in
So
Alien.
the androids have white blood. Yeah.
I thought you said the aliens have white blood. Yeah, the androids have white blood. It's really gross in Alien.
Yeah, it looks like cottage cheese.
Yeah, it's super nasty. Ugh.
Can you give us the rhyme and reason as to why that statue was moved that night?
Can you do it, Nick? Never mind who moved it. The real question is, why did they move it? Yeah. Well, Mr. Wright, I hope you are prepared with your answer. Now then, who was the one that moved the golden statue on the night of the crime?
Well, it can only have been one person, right?
It could only have been... Well, it could have been Luke.
I mean, that's your running theory, right? That he forged this photo somehow?
Yeah. Okay, I need to stop thinking too far ahead and trying to solve things when there's a very specific question being asked of me. The one who moved the statue was none other than Luka Étoile. Come now, Sir Lawyer. There you go again on one of your strange delusions. Mr. Wright, what basis do you have for your strange delusions? It's very simple. The witness was the only one in the basement warehouse that night. That is indeed very simple. However, why would I want to move a heavy golden statue? The reason for moving the golden statue, here's where the battle really begins. Why would he move it? Continuity?
Yeah, think about it. If that photo was taken in advance and the statue was moved there on the night of, he's gonna go, oh no, that's not supposed to be there.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Wright, what reason did the witness have to move that statue? The reason can be found here in this photograph. Look at me. You pretended to be Mask to Mask. to create an alibi by showing you were at Lord Lee Taylor that night. But this photograph contains a single fatal flaw. If the statue had been there, your lie would be exposed like cheap film at a drugstore. That is why you had to move the statue. A single fatal flaw.
Interesting theory. Please enlighten us.
Is it the sword?
No, you're on the right track before.
Just where?
What's the lie here?
What is the lie here? So...
Do you remember before when you said there was no date?
Yeah. Should I point to that?
Yeah, let's point there.
Okay, I'm also thinking about the timeline of when that paint was there. That was 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah. So that... The paint has nothing to do with the inconsistent timeline here. Well... Yeah. I guess not necessarily. Who knows who the fuck knows when he took this photo? Well, no. 14 days and he's still... No, Oh, whatever. Naturally, the lie in this photo is the timestamp. Whoa, what do you mean? I'll tell you exactly what I mean. On the night in question, Luke Étoile went to KB Security and murdered Kane Bullard. Therefore, it's obvious. It would have been impossible for him to have been at Lord Lee Taylor at this time. But what does that have to do with the statue being moved? Remember, if you will, Your Honor, when was this statue placed besides the warehouse door? Well...
The statue was taken down to the warehouse on the day of the crime. It was placed there in order to cover up the paint.
Oh! So he moved it, because if the statue was there in the photo, it would have given the game away. You know what, I'll be honest. I totally just completely forgot that it only got there the day of the crime.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of giving you nudges here, because it's like, we took a break at a weird point at which they expect you to be keeping track of like 6 different things at once.
Yeah. I completely forgot about that. Okay, that makes more, yeah, that makes more sense.
You should check over, just double check some of the evidence that you can, like, check.
You're right. Huh.
Yeah, you double check the calling card, just to be sure.
The Speckled Urn. Oh! Oh! Only... Only Luke could have known about that. Since he was, like, had anybody else seen this?
No one.
Before... The urn wasn't speckled.
Everyone thought it was I am still.
Yeah, because the photo, the publicity... No, not that one. No. Fuck, there's so many photos and they look the same! Yeah, that. There was no paint on it before. Before this photo was taken. So only Luke is... Like, only Luke could know that this happened. Okay. Interesting. The mask knocked me out during the crime with a blow to the back of the head. Why did that happen? Did he make that up?
Yeah.
Huh.
He cleverly actually tricked the Magatama with that one. Because the way he phrased it, it wasn't a lie.
Oh, yeah.
Because you were the one who said you must have been knocked out by that. He didn't say yes, he just said you're very clever.
Oh. That's true. And the Blackmail Letter... This one has been sitting in our inventory for like this whole case, and I've... Oh yeah, I have to kind of think about the theory that I was having before too. That Kane Bullard was blackmailing Luke. Okay. Found in the Wait. No, that doesn't necessarily have to have been there. Yeah, no, that could have been there before. And it just wasn't noticed? Wait, what? Wait, then what happened to the brooch? If nobody was there... Huh.
Remember, he was obviously there the day after to perform like cleanup and whatever.
Yeah, and like plant stuff, right? And
yeah.
And this is all the new stuff that we got on Monday. Buzzer went off once at 1:02 a.m. Oh yeah, what's up with that? Oh yeah, no, Luke pushed the button. So he could frame Ron for the murder. Right. Huh. Interesting. This testimony doesn't say from Ron's second heist on. It says from Damask's second heist on. Are all the blackmail letters from Kane Bullard? No.
Not necessarily, no.
No, yeah, that is because that doesn't make sense. Well, but it's not that it doesn't make sense, it's that it's a more compelling theory that Luke is the one that's blackmailing him. Exactly. Luke Étoile had already decided on the time when he was going to kill the victim. And so, in order to create an alibi for that time, he took this picture days before the murder took place. Oh, that snuck up on me. Mina?
Oh, sorry. The game was lagging a bit.
Oh, shit.
I was waiting patiently for the line to load in.
Of course, the statue hadn't yet been brought down to the basement warehouse yet. Oh. So, on the day of the crime, Mr. Étoile must have been quite nervous. As nervous as a long-tailed cat in a rocking chair factory, so to speak. Good metaphor, Phoenix.
That's such an old man metaphor.
That is such an old man metaphor. Why? Because something that wasn't supposed to be there had been brought down in a place where it wasn't supposed to be. And that is why Luka Étoile had to move the statue on the night of the murder. He did it to make the room match the way it had been in his photo. There. Words. Order! Order! Mr. Étoile, is this true? One moment, Your Honor. Have you forgotten this? What's that? The data for the basement warehouse computer. According to this, the camera did indeed go off on the night of the crime. It's true that the camera had been set up by the Lordly Taylor staff. It was proprietary software. However, the program used to manage that data was yours. That alone would have allowed you to tamper with the data. Get fucked, Luke. Order, order. Mr. Godot, what is the meaning of this? Oh, I want to pour myself some coffee now. Godot, I warned you about making me wait. Now they're just really taking the piss with that, huh?
Yeah, it feels like Godot is the first prosecutor that the judge bosses around instead of the other way around.
Yeah. But no, they're literally making a waiting for Godot reference in that specific line. They're just like, hey, do you get it? Hey, do you get it?
It's especially funny because his Japanese name wasn't supposed to be a waiting for Godot illusion. It's pronounced Godo there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just the characters for like go as in like the number 5 and do, and I can't remember what do means, but
you know, it's probably good that you don't remember because that might be a hint. I'm still thinking about who the fuck this man is.
My 11th cup. I promised to drink no more than 17 during a trial, which means I'm still good to the last drop.
Does he mean during the entire thing, like the entire 3 days, or just the 1 day of a trial?
Per session.
Per session?
Yeah.
However, the defense has a very good point.
A good point? So what? We are all but travelers on a road of infinite points.
I think he's got his points mixed up with his other points.
So you say this photograph was taken ahead of time, and the statue was moved in order to make it match. That's a very interesting idea. However,
I need the evidence.
there's one point that can't be denied.
Which is... That's 12.
That it's only a possibility. Men that are trapped by the chains of maybe can never reach their dreams.
That's very true. No way! Don't fall for that, Your Honor!
Hey, Mr. Damask.
I feel like Godot really likes Gurren Lagann. Yes!
If there's no funny business in your actions as Master Damask, then there should be no problem with you telling us your strategy. So let's hear it.
Yes, please provide this court with your testimony about your plan to steal the sacred urn. Okay. Hold on. I'm actually gonna fill up my coffee before we get into this because I'm gonna need caffeine for voicing Luke. It's a shame there's no music playing right now, so if I don't talk, it's fucking stark silent.
So I think I looked at this trivia. I think this testimony holds the record for the testimony with the most contradictions of any testimony in the entire series.
Wait, really?
Yeah, you can present evidence on all but 2 statements, and you'll get the right answer.
Are you kidding? Oh, so he's just lying through his teeth.
But it's only one very specific piece of evidence that contradicts all of them. But you'll probably know what it is.
Lion liar who lies.
Lion Luke, that's what I call him.
Okay, let's do it. I first received a request from Lord Taylor about 20 days ago. The urn was placed in a box and bazinga! It was then sent to the warehouse. Hence, I was actually unable to see the urn for myself until the day of the crime. Well, that's the one right there. I knew it was an extremely valuable treasure, so I sent my card 10 days beforehand. I then handled security by myself to ensure that my crime would go smoothly. At last, I held the urn in my hands for the first time at 1 a.m. on October 12th.
So, you know, a piece of evidence contradicts that, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it can be presented on statements 2, 3, 4, or 6.
Jesus. That's pretty much all the stuff we've heard before, isn't it? Yeah, but we will find the truth hidden in the nuggets of new information he gave. Witness, you're sure there are no mistakes this time? Bazinga! Alright, what is it, what? Very well then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. He didn't say yes and he didn't say no. Okay. So the one where I specifically noticed was this. So it's should I do the calling card?
Yeah.
Mr. Atme, if you really are Mask Damask, then you also wrote this calling card, correct? But of course!
No problem with the calling card.
Allow me to read a passage from the calling card that Mask Damask had written. Take good care of the speckled urn. Now, the speckled here surely refers to this pink pattern on the sacred urn. Yes, that is true. But so what? Truth be told, there's no way that Mask Damask could have known about this pattern. What do you mean? This pink spotted pattern on the urn is actually nothing more than paint stains. Paint stains. And these stains did not appear until after the urn had been taken to Lordly Taylor.
I find this joke to be very funny, Mr. Trite.
The day that the sacred urn was taken to the warehouse, The urn was broken due to human error. Or should I say an error-prone human? Hey, man. That's mean.
God, she's so cute in both of those, though.
She's very cute. And that's when the pink paint got on the urn.
Ugh, you can't be serious.
And yet, this calling card clearly mentions the paint pattern. Which means Detective Atme had seen this urn long before the crime ever took place. In fact, he saw it when this fake photo was taken.
Whoa.
And because this photo is a fake, your alibi for the night of the murder no longer holds water. What is that? His exclamation there sounds like a fucking Murloc from fucking WoW or like Warcraft, I guess. Yeah, exactly. Witness, do you have anything to say for yourself? Oh god, I have to do an unacceptable at some point in this, don't I? I have to.
You must.
Alright, that did it.
It is imperative.
He's broken. Nick, I think it's still a little early for a victory pose. Huh?
Ha. It's so sad. No one has any conviction these days.
Conviction, you say?
Yesterday, we all decided unanimously that this man was mask to mask. And now, we're calling him a murderer.
Yeah.
You don't think we're being a tad fickle?
That's modern society, baby. We're bored. That's a good point. Is it a good point? That's not a good point. No way. Don't fall for that too, Your Honor.
The judge is just like Joe Rogan. He just agrees with whatever the last person talked to him said.
Oh my god, he's literally Joe Rogan. Oh, fuck. But also, Godot's literally just saying, nah, he didn't do it. Like, that's all he's saying.
I guess what he's saying is that in order to accept this conclusion, it means that every single piece of evidence that they presented yesterday was misinterpreted.
We have to fully disprove that he is mask to mask.
Yeah.
Okay.
You say that Luka Étoile was the one who killed Kane Bullard. Let me ask you this. Why would he do that?
An excellent point! Motive, Mr. Wright, motive! Might you my merry murderous motive manifest? Oh, that one took it out of me. Nick, he's getting a second wind. If he prepared an alibi and pinned his crime on Ron Delight, as you say, he must have had a very strong motive for murder.
Dealing with any motive we've seen is Ron Delight. Isn't that right, detective?
Indeed! According to my own research, the boy's motive is clear. Is it? Is it? Without a motive, it's nearly impossible to prove guilt in a murder case. Now then, maybe you can enlighten us as to what the defendant's motives were. I'd be honored to, Sir Old-Timer. They're doing everything they can to make Ron look suspicious. Despite our lack of hard information, this may be our only chance. Okay, so here's where that letter comes into play.
Yeah, finally.
Finally, the thing that I have found so suspicious since we fucking found it. Luka Étoile had no points of contact with the victim whatsoever. Kane Bullard decided to investigate mask to mask and simply mistook who he was. It was Mr. Bullard who wrote the blackmail letter and sent it to Ron Delight. Okay, that's the one that is incorrect. That's a lie. And it was again Mr. Bullard who harbored a grudge against Mr. Delight for his betrayal. Mr. Bullard's mistake is quite excusable. The defendant truly believes he is mask to mask. That is why Mr. Delight saw it fit to kill Kane Bullard. Truly a tragedy. So the victim, Kane Bullard, blackmailed the defendant.
This is the blackmail letter found in the defendant's apartment. A handwriting test confirms that Mr. Bullard was indeed the one who wrote the letter.
Oh. Yeah, that makes sense. I did figure that out. Very well, Mr. Wright. Begin your cross-examination. Yes, I did in fact figure that out. But the other ones... Yeah, okay. It's the that. Mind if I ask you a few questions, Detective Atme? Well, if it's just a few, I guess it's all right. When he said that this letter was addressed to Ron Delight, I couldn't help but notice one major contradiction. Contradiction?
I don't know where a walking contradiction like you gets off saying things like that.
You're one to talk.
At times like these, men are made to express themselves with their fists.
Oh, we gonna throw down, Godot? I'll throw down with you. Phoenix is fucking strong, dude. You got no idea. He's ripped. He's fucking shredded.
It is legitimately part of Godot's character that he's a trad male.
Yeah.
Why don't you show us what you've got there, Junior?
Indeed. Time to man up, Mr. Wright. Okay. Weird energy we got going on today, Judge. Show us the contradicting evidence in the content of the blackmail letter. So do I have to check and then present? Or present and then... No, that's not how that works.
Yeah, I think for this, if I remember correctly, you have to present the newspaper clipping because they're trying to ask you what about the blackmail letter means it can't be given to Ron.
The newspaper clipping.
Yeah, because Ron stole a blue diamond on a red diamond.
Oh yeah, that did make the music stop. Oh my god, they understand now. They've caught on. They do this they have to do this on purpose. Just to build that tension a little bit more. Oh, but then sometimes when you present a piece of evidence, I think during the cross-examinations, it does cut the music immediately.
Sometimes, yeah.
Ooh.
And I will say this outright, the very last contradiction in this entire game, it gives you the wrong answer first. You actually take damage, and then you recover it.
Ooh. That's very fun.
So don't be distraught if you think you presented the right thing, but it looks like you got it wrong.
Okay. Take a good look at this newspaper clipping. It contains a picture of the Tear of Emanon, the stolen jewel. What about it? The problem is this jewel's color.
Color? I'm not one for discussing color myself. I don't see color.
Yeah, I was literally gonna say, I was like, that's a weird thing to say, Godot. What do you, okay, whatever. According to the clipping, the color of the stolen jewel was blue. However, in the blackmail letter, a totally different jewel is mentioned. So, I will say that also them calling it a red diamond is not correct, right?
Yeah, it's more like
it's a ruby.
Yeah, or like I guess like an opal, like a blood opal.
Maybe? Like aren't diamonds just, don't they have to be, like, clear?
I think they have to be, like, cut, yeah, like into, like, an actual diamond shape. I don't think diamonds are usually, like, round.
Yeah. I'll take that red diamond you received the other day. Red! Yes, that is a color, Judge. Which means the red diamond described in the blackmail letter is not the Tear of Emanon that Master Mask stole at all. So, okay, I just want to say really quick, this bit is really weird because, like, they're asking you to backwards engineer this whole thing. When, like, I think the moment you see the red diamond in that blackmail letter, you automatically assume that it's actually talking about Luke's ring. Your mind doesn't even go to the Tear of Emanon at all.
Yeah.
Luke literally signposted his red diamond when we met him. So, like, it's weird that we kind of have to, like, backwards engineer this little piece of evidence, you know? Like, I could just be like, hey, look at what the fuck Luke is wearing right now. that he mentioned earlier.
Yeah, and the funniest part is, if you are so galaxy brain that you know that you're gonna have to present it anyway, you can present the newspaper clipping there, and you just skip this entire thing.
Really?
Yeah, instead of presenting the Blackmail Letter, you just present the newspaper clipping, and you skip right past this multi-phase of, it's not talking about that. Okay, who's it talking about? It's talking about him.
Oh. Okay, that's cool. I like that. But wait, what? Why's my? Did I accidentally click on OBS? I did.
You're trying to say that this Blackmail Letter was intended for someone else. That's what you're trying to say, right, Trite?
That is what you're trying to say, right, Mr. Wright? Well, that is what you're trying to say, right, Nick? Yes. Yeah, duh. Naturally, it was you, Detective Atme. Do you have some sort of basis for that claim? You've been personally involved in every single mask-to-mask case. And in the last case, you recovered what was stolen, and received a jewel as your reward.
A jewel?
Probably the one wrapped conspicuously around your finger. That red diamond ring.
It's funny that the anime cuts out, like, all of this and streamlines it a lot. Instead of, you know, the red diamond being a reward that he got from saving a treasure from someone else, they cut out most of Damask's heists and make it so that one of Damask's heists was a red jewel that Kane Bullard kept in his safe.
Oh.
So when Ron stole it and then Luke started flaunting it, Bullard instantly knew who was responsible. And just started blackmailing him right away.
That's great. What an idiot. What a dumbass. What a stupid man. That is the diamond referred to in the letter, which means that Kane Bullard wrote that letter in order to blackmail you. Order! Order in the court! Order, I say!
Seems you've gone too far with your childish pranks, Mr. Wright.
Uh-oh. I don't like the way he said that.
Kane Bullard blackmailing Luka Étoile. Are you for real?
Yes, I am. Nick, come on, stand up to him!
Answer me this. The Blackmail Letter contains the following passage. If you don't want your identity revealed to the world.
Yes, it certainly does.
Kane Bullard threatened to make Luka Étoile's identity public knowledge. An identity he wanted to keep a secret. So just what was that identity?
Mask to mask. But he's not actually masked to... Wait. Atme killed Kane Bullard because he was afraid of his secret becoming known. What? No. Yes?
Keep going.
What was the identity he wanted to keep secret? This is what it all comes down to, Nick. The identity that Luka Étoile wanted to so desperately keep secret was his identity as a blackmailer.
Yeah.
Luka Étoile was a blackmailer.
Objection.
Hey now, isn't that a little different from what you've been saying?
That's you.
You said that Kane Bullard was the one blackmailing Luka Étoile. Are you saying that Étoile was blackmailing someone else on top of that?
Ugh. You have to admit that does sound a little odd. It's not odd. It's the only thing that makes any sense. Kane Bullard was blackmailing Luka Étoile. But Ron Delight was also being blackmailed by a certain someone. Yeah. Yeah. Detailed plans. In which case, that would mean that Ron Delight was actually mask to mask. That is what we are claiming. Someone else came up with the plans and had Mr. Delight steal his targets for him. And that someone was none other than Luka Étoile. Shh! Silence!
That was very Lemongrab.
That was, yeah. Now I see. It's all becoming clear. What is? When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Careless with the tendency to jump to conclusions. Am I wrong? How did you? That's true. You see that I, Luka Étoile, was blackmailing Ron Delight? In which case, I would naturally know all about his relation to Mask Damask. Well, yes. Ron Delight started receiving plans from his second crime onward, correct? Which means I learned of his identity when he committed that first crime. Good point. You certainly couldn't have blackmailed him otherwise.
In that case, let's see some hot, bitter evidence.
I know exactly what the evidence is. It's the news clipping. I think I see it. See what? When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Gets into lots of mischief trying to be the center of attention. What do you mean? This newspaper clipping. It has a picture of you and Ron Delight in his guard uniform. It seems that Mask Damask didn't just disappear into thin air. He just took off his outfit and hid it in a bucket. That sounds far too stupid to be true. Correct. With tricks like that, he couldn't fool a baby, let alone an ace detective. And that's when you figured it out, Mr. Atme. That's when you learned that under his mask, Mask Damask was really Ron Delight.
Oh, you can tell this is eating him up more than the actual conviction.
Yeah. But yeah, I like how they say bucket, by the way. It's a trash can. It's not
trash bucket.
It's not just trash bucket. Alright. How dare you expose me like that? I mean, I've never blackmailed anyone in my life. I'm a famous and proud ace detective and also Mask Damask. Why can't you understand that? I'm afraid you are neither a proud thief nor an ace detective. You're a blackmailer and a murderer. That is your true identity. Why you? Oh, is he just going? He's just going.
He's just going.
He's just going. What is it? What the fuck is he saying?
He's making up words that sound fancy.
Jesus. What a crazy man. Wait, did we do it? It would seem we finally arrived at the real answer. That was quite a performance by Mr. Atme. Bailiff, please prepare a cell for Mr. Atme. Nope, I figured as much.
Hammer that strikes too fast has no time to aim.
What do you mean? I'm already prepared to deliver my ruling.
Allow me to say one thing. I will be the one to judge.
But he's literally named the judge. You don't get much more in your face than that.
It appears that your claws weren't quite sharp enough, Mr. Trade.
What do you...
It's true that you've proven a lot of things. Things like Luka Étoile was a filthy blackmailer. And that he wasn't a Lord Taylor the night of the murder.
But we haven't proven that he actually did the murder.
Yeah.
That's right. That's why he's the one who killed Mr. Bull.
But there's still one thing you've yet to prove.
What's that?
Just because he wasn't at the warehouse doesn't mean he was at the murder scene. Therefore, if you can't prove that this pitiful excuse of a man was at KB security, then I don't see how a verdict can be delivered.
No way! That's a fair point.
Order in the court. Well, Mr. Wright.
This is it. This is the final round. I've got to prove that Abney was at Mr. Bullard's office on that night. He's saying this out loud now. But can you really prove that?
That's long enough. Mr. Trite, I want to hear your answer.
That night, Luke Atney was at KB Security, and the defense can't prove it.
Yeah, you don't got nothing on him.
Yeah, no, we have absolutely no proof that he was there. He was squeaky clean.
The perfect crime.
I can't prove it.
Just as I thought.
What do you mean? You were about to hand down your verdict.
He shakes his head. Sasugareto.
But if we hear more of Detective Atney's testimony...
Unfortunately, that's as far as you go, Mr. Trite.
What do you mean?
I won't allow for any more testimony. That's what I mean.
Can you do that? I don't think you can do that. What?
Have you forgotten? Look at me is here after we interrupted his own trial. And you have failed to prove that he committed the murder.
Oh,
I think that's fair, honestly.
Yeah, that is fair.
I think it's time for this witness to return to his own trial. And face his guilty verdict as mask to mask.
Oh. Does he mean he won't allow for any more testimony from Luke, or just any more testimony in general?
From Luke.
Okay.
Because you've admitted that you don't have any evidence, so he's like, well, why are we still here then?
Yeah. Who else was... No, Larry wasn't there. We can't call Larry. Fuck! We can call Ron. Or is Desiree gonna come in as a striker again? No. Oh, I took a breath and that immediately went down the wrong pipe. Well now, sir lawyer, it seems that love wins out in the end after all. Love wins? Love wins.
Love wins.
Sure. I am the ace detective as well as mask to mask. My verdict will verify that. Just as Ron Delights will verify that he is the true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detectiveness.
Order in the court. That's enough deliberation over this witness.
I can't believe this. At this rate, Ron is... Don't give up now, Nick. We still have tomorrow. We can look for more evidence and... By then, it'll be too late. Huh? Well, why?
Jeopardy.
Oh, literally bringing up double jeopardy.
One of the basic rules of any law of court. Court of law, rather.
Double jeopardy?
Should a defendant be tried and found innocent in court, that defendant cannot be tried again for the same crime. This is a fundamental rule of all courts.
Sure.
And it applies to this witness as much as it applies to anyone else.
Double jeopardy is when the points are double on jeopardy. Yeah, exactly. That's my understanding of it.
Mr. Atman, we found guilty in a matter of minutes. Guilty as mask to mask, which means...
He will be innocent as far as the murder of Kane Bullard is concerned.
No way!
The fact that you were unable to prove Mr. Atney's guilt of that crime here means that he will never again be tried as Kane Bullard's murderer.
Wah! Sure, that's a sound to make. Now there's nothing I can possibly do to win. Even if Ron is proclaimed to be innocent, the real killer, Luke Atney, will go free.
You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today. And as long as there is no more testimony, I'm afraid I have to declare that there will be no further questioning of this witness. Are there any objections?
Uh-huh. I'm sure somebody will chime in. I don't know who.
Then I hereby end the cross-examination of Luka Étoile.
What? There we go.
I think I see it. Your Honor, when you were a child, this is what was on your report card every year. Has poor hearing and often makes mistakes as a result.
How did you?
Phoenix, raise your head up high. Have you forgotten what I used to tell you? A lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets.
Man, if there was a jury in this court, I'm sure they would see Luka Étoile as a fucked up dude. Yeah! Yeah, why is there no, like, jury in these trials? It's just the judge.
It's based on Japan. Japan didn't have jurors until 2008.
What?
Yep.
What the fuck? That voice. No way. Hey, Mia, what's up?
Long time no see, Phoenix.
Mia! This is the true power of the Kurian channeling technique. I know that it's really Maya who's standing before me, but right now she's my mentor, Mia Fey.
Now, let's do this.
We do it! But there's something more we can do, Mia. Without any more testimony, I can't cross-examine...
Not yet. The testimony's not over yet.
What do you mean?
Your Honor, just now you said something very interesting. You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today.
Yes, that's true, but...
Unfortunately, Your Honor, you're forgetting something. Earlier, after the last cross-examination, this witness made a number of remarks.
He lied several times! Wait, oh, right here.
Yes, but... These comments appear to have no importance whatsoever.
Very well. And we shall prove their importance via cross-examination.
What?
At any rate, so long as the witness has made these remarks, we, the defense, assert our right to question them. That's actually a real law as well.
Fuck yeah, dude!
Is that alright with you, prosecutor?
Does Godot know who this is? Is he clueless here?
Is something the matter, Mr. Godot?
Nothing.
Huh. Weird. Very weird. Okay. Oh, sir lawyer, it looks like you're one step too late. If you think such falsehoods will do anything to me, look at...
Let's hear it.
Huh?
That was perfectly delivered. It's true that the witness has made some remarks. So then, let's hear this last bit of cross-examination.
Mr. Godot, what are you...
Very well then, Mr. Luka Étoile. I'm going to allow the defense to cross-examine your earlier remarks.
The defense would like to hear what you declare the defendant to be the true murderer.
So please, give us one last bit of testimony.
Phoenix, this is it. This is our absolute last chance.
Yes, Chief. Okay.
So you should save here.
What?
You have one shot to present or press one statement.
Oh, fuck.
So pay attention, look for the contradiction.
Okay. Indeed, it is true that I was not at Lord Late's Taylor. I had to leave to see about another vitally important job request. I had known about the date beforehand, so I had this photograph readied. My brilliant deduction was what informed me that the true culprit was Ron Delight. And thanks to the keycard and wallet, it was abundantly clear that he was there. Huh. He wouldn't have known about those.
They represented the last trial, so he would.
No, but I mean, not at the time. Not at the time of the crime he would have known about that. Larry had the wallet with him. Or Maybe...
He's talking about, like, in the now. Like, this is why, right now, he thinks that Ron's the killer.
Okay. That was bad. Okay. Alright, I'll let that slide, Luke, alright? You're good. I was also able to make a deduction from the buzzer, which only sounded once. The buzzer did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? The victim would have left prints if he sounded it, which means the killer sounded it. Mr. Delight was wearing his mask-to-mask outfit, which is why he left no prints. And the blackmail letter, the victim likely just mistook the color of the jewel. Bazinga! Therefore, all the evidence points to that poor boy. This testimony actually seems to hold up pretty well.
The witness's earlier remarks do not appear to have been hastily prepared. All of his points have been explained, and none of them seem to contradict anything.
But of course!
But how did you know about the emergency buzzer?
The police investigation documents went directly through me. And I always look over all the documents. It's elementary, Sir Lawyer.
Ugh.
Are you going to make even more trouble now for us, Sir Lawyer?
I will not allow any of your usual shenanigans, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. We cannot postpone Luke Étoile's trial any longer. This is your last chance. Hang on a sec. Just one chance?
Seems like the party's about to begin. Well, Phoenix?
There isn't any evidence that contradicts with that testimony.
So it would seem.
What do you mean, so it would seem?
Listen, Phoenix, pointing out contradictions doesn't always mean you have to present evidence, does it? At any rate, this is our last chance. If you can't point out a case-breaking contradiction, you lose. That's all there is to it. Cup number 17. Last cup. Seems like the time has come to put an end to this trial.
I have to find a fatal contradiction in this testimony. And I need to point it out without presenting evidence. Okay. That narrows it down a lot, actually. Which means all I can do is find the contradictory remark and press it.
Remember, you only get one chance. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime.
Very well then, Mr. Wright. Please begin your final cross-examination.
Okay. I'm just going to look over the whole testimony again. Indeed, it is true that I was not at Lordly Taylor. I had to leave to see about another vitally important job request. I had known about the date beforehand, so I had this photograph ready. My brilliant deduction was what informed me that the true culprit was Ron Delight. And thanks to the keycard and wallet, it was abundantly clear that he was there. What? He's talking about Ron Delight being the murderer.
Yeah.
Right. I was also able to make a deduction from the buzzer, which only sounded once. And he got that information from the police.
Yeah.
So Dick Gumshoe had that information. He gave it to us, so obviously he could give it to Luke.
Yeah.
Wait, when did we find out about the murder? Oh, but
The murder was the...
I guess he figured this out after we found out about the murder, is what he's saying.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't he have been in police custody then?
I mean, after the murder was publicly revealed, yes, but I think it's implying that he had knowledge of it before everyone, the public, did.
Which would imply that he did it.
But he has like a justifiable reason to know that information.
To have that early information, I guess.
Yeah, like you can't prove the police didn't tell him. There is a piece of information here, though, he couldn't have possibly known.
this.
When did you find out about his mask to mask outfit?
When did we find out about it?
Yeah, when did Ron tell you that he was wearing it?
The day before the day of the trial? Like today?
Today, yeah.
And that hasn't been presented in court.
Not yet. Not since he's gotten here, anyway.
Yeah. I immediately thought that was really suspicious. So I guess we'll press that? Yeah. Because the only way... Because nobody has mentioned it. I haven't brought it up. There's no way that was public information. So he had to have been there to see that.
Yeah.
Mr. Atme, about this last remark.
Objection.
You still don't get it, do you, Trite? This isn't the time to be pressing the witness on every little statement.
I'm afraid you're the one who still doesn't get it, Mr. Godot.
What?
Mr. Atme, it seems you have finally admitted that you were in the CEO's office on the night of the murder. How can you say that? Let's review your testimony, shall we, Mr. Atme? The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? Mr. Delight was wearing his mask-to-mask outfit. Is that correct? Indeed, that's what I said. My deductions are absolutely foolproof. More like your deductions prove that you're a fool. I'm sorry. Whatever do you mean?
For some reason, I'm starting to get really thirsty.
When exactly did we learn the fact that Ron Delight was dressed as mask to mask when he went to the scene of the crime? Did we bring it up in court? We didn't at all.
Nope, not. It came up exactly once during Ron's testimony when he was doing his own trial.
Yeah, and he had no idea. Luke had no idea what was happening in here.
Yeah.
That was,
It was just a few hours ago. Back when my sixth cup was looking at me with a cold stare.
Yeah.
That's right. The defendant had yet to tell anyone else this fact before this morning. Therefore, the only people who should know this are those who have been watching this trial. Do you understand now, Detective Atme? There is no way that you should have known about that. Unacceptable! You were in the next courtroom being tried as mask to mask. So then enlighten us. Just how did you know about that piece of information? Well...
Come on, this detective must have known about it. He probably had plenty of chances to find out beforehand.
And it's those chances that I want to discuss next. That night, Mr. Delight was wearing his mask-to-mask outfit. There is one and only one way for Detective Atme to have found that out.
One way, you say?
Please recall, if you will, Mr. Delight's testimony.
Yeah. There was a suspicious shadow there.
For a second, my client witnessed the real killer.
Delight never saw his attacker. So there's no way to tell whether or not the real killer was Luka Étoile.
It's with that statement that I'll turn this case on its head.
Just what are you implying?
Mr. Delight saw the real killer, correct? Now, if you turn that statement around, it stands to reason that the real killer had also seen Ron Delight.
Impossible.
I wonder who that could be.
What? Are you telling me it was Luke all this time? That's crazy!
I think Luke's an amazing villain because usually the person that you corner at the end of the first day of trial isn't the real villain. They're just like some lackey or someone who's misinformed. But like, no, it's him both times.
It's literally him both times. Detective Abney, you saw Mask to Mask at the murder scene that night. You saw him when you killed Kane Bullard and assaulted Ron Delight. That was the only way you could have known what Ron was wearing. What's happening?
Clown pose.
He's blasting off. Take a good look, everyone. Unable to find a rival worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one by myself. Here I am, the tragic clown. Oh, you're Pagliacci.
That's the same line you gave yesterday.
But I think there's a little more meaning behind it this time. Yeah, he's completely cracked. Cool, we got him. Job done. Now we get to fuck Ron's wife. Oh, wait, we don't get to fuck Ron's wife now.
I mean, you still can.
That's true.
What's he gonna do? Run at you?
Yeah.
Run at you at incredible speed?
What an awfully complicated incident. Kane Bullard was
Kill
blackmailing
you
Luka
and
Étoile.
smash you on a rock?
Oh, God.
Who was in turn blackmailing Ron Delight. And upon killing his blackmailer, Luka Étoile tried to frame Ron Delight. He then claimed to be guilty as Mask to Mask in order to escape his true crime.
That's like next level criminal activity. It's like, I'm gonna confess to a different crime to use as an alibi for my bigger crime.
Yeah, like he figured that he was going to be executed, so he was like, okay, I'd rather go to jail than be executed. So I guess I'll do a lesser crime also. And to that end, he came up with this plan. To use the double jeopardy rule when making his alibi. Oh, I see.
At any rate, it would seem we finally found the truth.
Excuse me.
I came perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man. Besmirching him with the title of murderer.
That's the third time he said something like that in this entire trial.
Yeah. Don't ignore me.
Oh, I didn't realize you were there.
Why wouldn't he be?
I wrote the verdict.
I know. You never committed any murder.
That's right. I'm so glad you understand that. But
Does this mean that Ron can't be found guilty of being Mask to Mask?
yep. I really am Mask to Mask.
Huh?
So thanks to that trial yesterday, I'm innocent now, right? What was it you said? Double jeopardy?
Oh, this poor boy.
Now that you mention it.
I've been careless.
Careless? What do you think, Mia?
No, he really was careless though, because he bundled all of his crimes together to convict him of grand larceny. If he tried them individually as different crimes, then he wouldn't be innocent for all of them.
That's right. Oh my god, this idiot. God.
As the defendant says, the rule of double jeopardy is absolute. A defendant can never be tried twice for a crime in which he was found innocent.
So Ron is just, he's like free from those 5 heists.
Yeah, as long as he stays out of trouble, he can't be convicted of being Mask to Mask.
Fucking Ron got out of this real good, huh?
Yeah, of course that's not how it would work in real life, because
No.
his confession to being Mask to Mask would be considered reasonable evidence to reopen the
Yeah,
case.
exactly.
But
Like,
in Ace Attorney world, that doesn't exist.
it doesn't matter. We just disregard everything that he says, I guess. Then, Mask to Mask is really innocent?
It would seem so. For now.
For now?
Now then, this court finds the defendant.
Give me the confetti! Yay!
Yeah, Gumshoe.
Thank you, Gumshoe. Good boy.
Boy, this is really lucky. Wait, this isn't so good after all. You see, the thing is, I still am Mask to Mask.
He really wants to be known as Mask to Mask, and now he never will be, unless he does more crimes, I guess.
You did it, Phoenix.
Thanks, Mia. It's been a long time, hasn't it?
Yeah. Because Maya doesn't call on me much these days.
Oh?
I'm just joking, Phoenix. Don't take everything so seriously. But on the other hand, Maya seems kind of torn these days.
You mean about becoming the master of the Crewline channeling school?
Becoming the master means saying goodbye to our mother.
Misty Faye, right?
Watch over her, will you, Phoenix?
Of course. I've been doing that for the last 2.5 years, Mia.
Well then, see you around.
Mia.
Mr. Wright? I don't know what to say.
Congratulations, Mr. Delight.
Thank you so much. No, wait. Nothing really matters anymore, though, now that all this.
Come on, just be happy already! Maya, you've been cleared of the murder charges and got off as mask to boot.
He did get off with his wife.
Yeah.
But in exchange, I lost everything.
Huh? What do you mean?
Stealing security information from KB Security, becoming mask to mask. I did it all for one reason. For her.
You mean your wife, Desiree?
She hates criminals more than anything.
Oh! So we still get to fuck Desiree. Fucking hell yeah. Come to think of it, she was once held hostage by some robbers, wasn't she?
She always said how she hated sneaky criminals. I knew that, but once I got fired from KB Security and lost all the money I had, she wouldn't have any reason to stay with me. I thought she would leave me for sure.
So that's why you became mask to mask?
Yeah, but it's all over now. Broken bowl can never be put back together.
That's not true, right, Nick? Right.
Really? Can we go back to the way things were?
You'll be fine, and Nick can prove it. I can? I kind of wish you would check with me first. It's the vase, isn't it? It's the urn.
Yeah.
That's very good.
And Sugi. Desi was the one who found this.
Desiree, your wife. She's always believed in you, Ron. That's why you'll be fine. You don't have to worry about anything.
Ah, there you are.
Misty Light.
You did it, Ronnie. You're innocent. I'm so happy.
Oh, wait. Is the fact that he's been found innocent enough for her to be like, what are you talking about? You're not mask to mask.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But, I suppose you don't want anything more to do with me, do you? Ronnie, why didn't you talk to me about what was going on? I had no idea you quit KB Security. I never imagined you were really mask to mask either.
Wait, really? Misty Light, what are you going to do now that you know? You're not going to really leave him, are you?
Come on, it's obvious, isn't it? How could I ever let a wonderful man like him get away? After all, my bike's really fast. So fast there's no way he could ever get away.
Oh my god, it'd be so good if they actually became a crime duo. I would love that. But didn't you say that you hated criminals?
Oh, I only hate people who act all cowardly and sneaky. Like that detective.
I see.
My Ronnie went and declared his crimes before he committed them, like a man.
Oh, I love her so much.
I just love a man who's so chivalrous.
I love her so much. Chivalrous.
I knew I was right about you. Every day I spent with you was filled with thrills and excitement. Desiree,
you really do love Ron, don't you?
Nicky boy.
Yes?
I'm really glad I asked you to defend my Ronnie. Thank you so much. I'll never forget what you've done for me.
Oh, well, take care of yourself.
You too, Nicky boy.
Uh-huh. Okay. I can feel my face going red. Mr. Nick, Mystic Maya, congratulations! Oh no. Talk about bad timing. Mr. Nick, oh my, yeah.
No, you've got it all wrong. Pearl, we really need to figure you out. So just as the case came to a close, so too did my consciousness. Did fucking Pearl beat him unconscious?
She slapped him unconscious with her little girl hand.
Oh my god! Ron said a broken bowl can never be put back together. But I know that's not true. I mean...
She's been eating her spinach.
She's Popeye. I mean, just look. Here's a perfect example of one that was put back together even better than before. I don't think he's talking about the urn.
No. It's the family.
He's talking about the family. I'm gonna
the real
cry.
Sacred urn.
I'm gonna
the
cry.
real sacred urn was the family we made along the way.
I'm actually gonna cry. What? What? Oh, Maya look really cute.
Yeah, we'll get to that just after this break.
Oh my god, yeah, we gotta take a break. Okay, yeah, that really got me. That's so good. You see, it's a metaphor for okay, we'll be back. Y'all sit tight.
Bye.
Welcome back.
I want to see Maya as a maid.
Oh, you're gonna get that. Don't you worry.
I'm gonna get it. Oh, it's gonna be good. The first time we've seen Maya in an outfit that is not her default outfit. Wait,
yeah.
What?
Yeah, this is how we're opening.
Wait, what? Oh yeah, this is the stinger for the case. Hey, it's Phoenix from Ace Attorney 4. What? What? No! What? Shut up! Well, that does not look like Phoenix, by the way. The fucking face. Oh, he's salt baying in the coffee.
Hey, in the coffee.
Oh my god. Wait, hey, dude. What? Wait, whoa, wait, hold on. What happened? What's going on? Huh? We lost! We already lost! We already lost! It's over! Alright, that's the end of the stream. I'm sorry.
Bye, everyone.
Bye! The start of the new year always makes me feel like I can take on the whole world. I bet it does, Maya. So I decided that a resolution should be Pasinga, take on the world. What do you think? Sure, whatever, Maya, but I think maybe you've had more than enough mistletoe cake. Never! You've got to eat a lot of cake during New Year's. It's practically a tradition. Like watching the fireworks on TV or playing a board game. Hey, pal! Detective Gumshoe. Happy New Year, Detective!
Likewise. Now listen up, Wright.
Here's to another fruitful year of lawyer-police cooperation.
Yeah, me too. Alright, pal. You've got some explaining to...
Have you got a holiday present for me, Detective?
A what? Well, Here, have this. It's not nothing much, but...
Yay, thanks!
Look, pal, we need to have a talk. Take a seat.
Hey, what about Pearly? You haven't forgotten her present, have you?
He's gonna give her a gun. No. I mean, yes. I mean, no. Are you doing this on purpose?
Haha, guess I'm busted. How did you like my first practical joke of the year?
Very funny, pal. Now let's see how funny you think it is when I show you this.
What is it? A magazine? Hey, I want to see. Deadly poisoning brings guilty verdict. Defense attorney Wright trounced.
Trounced? Let me see that.
The defense attorney gave an almost childishly amateur performance today.
What the heck is this? It's a report, pal, about you.
Listen to this. Mr. Wright must take full responsibility for the ruling in this case.
Well, and don't tell me you don't remember anything about it.
Wait, what? Oh, this case is good. Oh, this case is good.
Right out of the gate, hits you with a powerful right hook.
But I don't remember anything about it. When was that issue from, anyway? December of last year, which I guess makes it last month.
Which makes it old news, you mean?
But I wasn't involved in a poisoning case in December.
So what do you think this is all about, Nick?
If it wasn't you, pal, then that leaves only one possibility.
No way. You don't mean... A phony Nick?
This must be Gumshoe's idea of a joke. Guess he's starting off the year with one, too.
What?
So, what are you gonna do about it, pal? What do you mean, what am I gonna do about it?
Well, it's your fault that the judge found the defendant guilty in this case.
My fault? How do you figure that?
Because the Phoenix Wright is super famous now. Well, maybe only sort of.
Yeah, see what happens when you hotshots start getting too full of yourselves? But I didn't do anything wrong. At least, not that I can remember. You better make this right, pal. Now! And that means taking the case back to court. Got it?
Sounds like we've got your first case of the new year. Let's tackle it with gusto.
I don't know. The judge already issued a guilty verdict once in this case. It's not going to be easy to get it overturned.
I guess that New Year's resolution is going to have to wait until next year.
So you're taking the case, right? Good. I'm gonna head over to the courthouse then. After that, I'll go back to the precinct. Drop by if you need something, okay, pal?
Dick is being suspiciously cooperative.
I guess people are starting to know the name Phoenix Wright. If a client entrusted a case to me based on my reputation, I guess I am kind of responsible. But why would someone want to impersonate me? What sort of a guy would do that? I don't even want to be me.
This is already... Huh. Was she in there before?
I think so.
Alright.
Only in the first case. I don't know if she's in the second case until she actually made her introduction.
Wait, who's the suspect in this case?
You'll see. You can go meet them.
Gumshoe being so cooperative makes me think it's a certain someone, but they can't do that again, right? But also why haven't we even mentioned Edgeworth in this game yet? So, what's our first move?
I guess we go down to the detention center and talk.
Wait a sec, Nick. This person's behind bars because of you. Whoever it is isn't going to be jumping at the chance to meet you, right?
Hey! Let's get one thing straight. It wasn't me, it was a fake that did this.
I wonder if he looks exactly like you. Your phony...
What?
Zin Eop.
Zin Eop. Oh, it's like Phoenix backward, but as 2 words? I hope not. Ugh. And what kind of name for an evil double is Shin Eop anyway?
Nick, I've got it!
If they're going to ask whether I've got a twin brother, the answer is no.
Spoil sport.
Shin Eop. Oh, Edgeworth's dead again?
Sounds like
okay.
It sounds like a Kingdom Hearts nobody name.
Shin Eop. Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Did you notice Gumshoe was acting weirder than usual, or was it just me? I'm glad Maya also noticed that.
What do you mean?
I mean, he was really worked up. Like a guy who's just found out he's going to be a dad or something.
Oh my god, Gumshoe's gonna be a dad. Yeah, I guess he was acting kind of strange.
Maybe he realized he's got strong feelings for you, Nick.
Wait. Considering how we interact, I seriously doubt that, Maya.
Well, if he wasn't nervous because of you...
Then maybe it's because of our new guilty client? Yeah, who would Gumshoe get so worked up over? The one that he actually has secret feelings for.
It can't be. This is so nerve-wracking waiting to meet our new client. I wonder just what kind of person you tricked and got found guilty. Keep it down, Maya. That kind of talk could ruin me. What? Oh.
It's Maggie.
I was right. It's the other person that he has secret feelings for. It's just not the exact one that I was thinking of.
It's Maggie.
I did a bimbo voice for her, right?
I can't remember.
It's been a bit since we've seen her. She was like at the start of the second game, and that was like what, a month ago at this point?
Yeah, it was a really short one too.
Chat, do you remember what voice I did for her? Did I do a bimbo voice for Maggie? I feel like I did.
There's like a 7 out of 10 chance that the answer is yes. For any given character.
That's true. Oh yeah, where are all of her Lucky Charms? How could you, Mr. Wright? How could you do this to me? They put me in solitary. I haven't been able to stop crying. Look at that little sad. Look at that little sad. That's so sad.
I know.
Aren't you? Yes, I am. I am totally and utterly let down. Are you? Don't pretend you don't know me. It's Maggie, remember? Maggie Bird. Maggie Bird. The one where I lost my memory. Maggie Bird. She's the policewoman I defended that one time. She's no longer a cop. Right? She was accused of murdering her lover. He was the cop too. What are you doing in here? Didn't I get you a quit? Oh, sure. Very funny. After that fifth-rate defense job, you come in here and start making jokes? You better hurry up and tell her what happened, Nick. What? Okay. Okay. Here's the thing, right? The fact that it's Maggie again, and Phoenix doesn't remember the case, it's like, it immediately throws into question, like, did Phoenix do this and just not remember anything? Like, I like how they have this little bit of, like, connection. That's so good. Fuck. Shutakumi. Fucking doing good in Ace Attorney 3. Fuck. Oh, I see. So that's where we stand right now. I'm sorry you've been caught up in another murder. My whole life has been nothing but a whirlwind of bad luck and failures. Wow. Rough. I vaguely remember her saying the exact same thing last time. But I don't mind. What's one more disaster in my life? At least now the real Phoenix Wright is here with me. I won't let the world keep me down, sir. All right.
She's so cute.
She's
and no longer
very
a cop.
cute and no longer a cop. So we can actually like her now. So, how come you're dressed like that, Maggie? Last year you looked so sharp in that police uniform. Shut up, Maya. Stop it. I was fired after that incident last year. Oh, I'm sorry. Why was she fired?
She's a good cop.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
There's no room for those.
There's no room for good cops. It's okay. I don't mind one bit. I enjoyed being on the force, but I think it was time for me to move on. So, what do you do now? In the second act of The Life of Maggie Bird, I'm playing the role of a waitress. A waitress? Oh, I hate this place. Oh, I don't like this place. Yes, in a French restaurant. It's a small place, but it's quite fashionable. My charming smile and shapely figure came through for me. Alright. And the owner... Oh, right. This is... Right. We talked about this man before, didn't we? And the owner, Mr. Armstrong, hired me straight away, sir. And then you got into this mess straight away, right? Yeah, you could put it that way. So this Armstrong is like Armstrong from Full Metal Alchemist, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so he's effeminate. and muscular and beefy and probably gay?
Probably, yeah. It's pretty heavily implied, but I don't think it's ever outright stated.
There's a lot of gay in these games, I'm noticing.
They're called games.
Ah! I understand. This whole mess started on the 3rd of last month, and it happened at Tribulations. Tribulations? Yes, it's a restaurant where good service and a friendly smile are always included. Oh. Why does... Hey, what? Why does the man have a scouter? What? Hello?
There's gonna be a lot of those.
Is that the victim?
Multiple characters have scouters in this.
What?
In
Why?
this case,
What?
because
Why?
you'll see. You'll see.
What is this fucking future tech? But Maya
You'll see.
doesn't know what a fucking computer is! There were 2 men at the table, both drinking coffee. And then... Yeah, that's weird hair, huh? Who the what kind of loser would have hair like that? One of the men slipped some poison into the victim's cup. The victim took just 1 sip and was gasping for air. I was so shocked I passed out. Hey, hold on there, Maggie. Ooh, what? You keep calling the guy the victim. Didn't you know the guy who was killed? Not at all. I'd never even seen the guy before. I have hiccups. Oh. So she wouldn't have had a motive to kill him then, I guess. And the other man, the killer, you saw him, right? What the fuck is up with that face? Of course, a good waitress must be attentive to the clientele.
Zinniop is friggin' juiced.
He's goddamn whipped.
He's
shredded.
yoked.
He's fucking shredded, dude. He's got an 8-pack. So, you saw the killer, but you were found guilty of the crime anyway? How come? You tell me, Mr. Wright. Ugh. I guess the answer to my question is my phony. Anyway, she saw the killer. Better see if I can get a description of the guy. I wonder what he looks like. So, if you saw the murderer, why were you still convicted? Because no one else saw. Saw what? The other man, the one who put the poison in the victim's coffee. Everyone testified that way. Mr. Armstrong, the customer, everyone. Wait, he lived?
No, the other customer that saw it.
Oh, I see. What? Huh? What? The victim was sitting alone at this table the whole time. But how's that possible? I don't know, but nobody, not one person, would believe me, sir. Even Phoenix Wright, my one last hope for a fair trial, failed me. What a pathetic defense! My granny could have done a better job. Look, that wasn't me, okay? And then, they found something a bit incriminating in my apron pocket. What? A small bottle of poison. Oh, that's bad. What? Poison? It was in your pocket? Well, I passed out when the victim collapsed. The killer must have slipped the poison into my pocket when I was unconscious. And no one else saw this other guy? No, sir. That's what everyone said, but I don't see how they could have missed him. Why is she not saying what he looks like? I was the one who took the coffee to the 2 men. Oh? And what was your impression of them? Well, when I first saw them, I kind of thought they might be in the music industry. In music? How come? Well, one of them had some sort of earpiece and an emo musician's look about him. And there was a sample CD on the table, sir. An earpiece and a sample CD, huh? Did you get a good look at the CD at all? It had a band's name written on it. I think it was MC something. They must have been preparing for their debut, I guess. So it was a band CD. Maybe a promo disc? Maybe it was MC Screwdriver. Is that supposed to be an MC Hammer reference?
I think so, yeah.
Get serious, Maya. Would you buy the CD of a group named that? What was the name of that group again? MC Hacksaw? No, MC... And what about the killer? What did he look like? Well, I don't really remember. Only that he was a young man, well built like the victim, really.
Once you see the friggin' killer, you will think, how could you ever forget what this person looks like?
Okay. So that's everything we... Or I guess we could present the magazine clipping? But we...
You can also just move on to the detective's zone.
I get the zone.
Oh yeah, you could present the magazine clipping though, yeah.
The zone of detective. Hello, Violet.
Hello.
Yeah, I need to ask you about this. Hey, this article's about my case. Can you tell me anything about the guy who was pretending to be me? Yes, sir. It was the morning after I'd been arrested. I met you in the visitor's room here. You were wearing one of your super sharp suits. That's hard to say.
It is.
Me? Yes, you, Mr. Wright. Ugh. Hey, Maggie, was my evil double eye on there too? No, I don't remember a phony you, Maya. Oh, it would have been so cool. Then he got really worked up and passionate. I'm gonna get you cleared of this crime, you said. Okay.
You gotta read that in a Brooklyn accent.
Yeah. Oh, so that's... I'm gonna have to do the voice of the puppet. What was the puppet's name?
Scarface? Or no, the Trilo.
Yeah, Trillo. Yeah. Oh no, I'm gonna have to do I'm gonna have to do the voice he did for Mo. Cause that was the Brooklyn accent. Yeah, this is not how Phoenix talks even. Yeah, I agree, Needle. How did Maggie fall for this?
Yeah, so this case is a comedic case. Like, you're gonna have to accept that. You're gonna have to do a lot of like suspension of disbelief because the premise itself is so innately ridiculous.
So this one's filler.
But if you can, no, there is important stuff in it. It's just that the basis of the case is comedic. It's mostly supposed to make you laugh, though there are some really important character and plot details that get followed up later.
Okay, here's the thing. Is it actually going to be funny?
I think so, personally. I like it a lot.
Okay. Okay.
I think this is one of the better third cases. I know people who disagree with that, but this case tickles my funny bone something fierce.
Okay, that's good. Okay,
Especially the culprit.
If it's as long as it's actually funny, then I'm fine. If it's not actually funny, I don't find it funny. We'll see. But like, I already do find the case interesting from the premise. But I mean, maybe that will change once I figure out. Oh wait, how the fuck did you fall for this?
I mean, there is going to be a lot of that, but like, just roll with it.
Yeah. Okay.
Again, when you see the imposter, you're gonna go, A, how did anyone forget what this guy looks like? And B, how did this guy ever successfully imitate Phoenix?
Let's be fair though. Payne and the judge aren't the sharpest tools in the shed. And and Maggie, we did a bimbo voice for her for a reason.
Yeah, she's quite stupid.
She's quite dumb. But you've met me in person before. So how come you didn't realize that guy wasn't the real me? I guess, looking back now, it was a little strange. Only a little? Well, okay, so you were a bit taller than normal, and you looked a bit shady, and your voice was a bit different, so the guy was nothing like me then. But he had your spiky hair and blue suit.
That's all you need.
That's all you need to impersonate Phoenix. Is that all it takes for someone to imitate me? How about everyone else in the courtroom, like the judge and the observers? Didn't they realize he was an imposter? Everyone had these big question marks on their faces, but it seemed that no one wanted to say anything, sir. Huh. There was like, you know what, this is weird, but we'll roll with it.
Yeah, it's like, that seems like bullcrap. I don't know enough about Phoenix Wright to dispute it.
Yeah. This case just keeps getting weirder and weirder. Mr. Wright, do you think it's possible to get a retrial? The judge could trivially be tricked. This is true. This is accurate. Probably, the court ruled in the absence of a genuine defense attorney. So we should be able to get a retrial. Mr. Wright? Do you think we'll win next time, sir? My life has been a full course meal of bad luck, complete with defeat for dessert. Wow, that one tripped me up. Since I was 6 months old when I fell from the 9th floor of my apartment building, I've been hit by all sorts of vehicles, gotten sick from all sorts of foods, failed at almost every test I've taken, experienced almost every kind of disaster.
One of those is not luck, but failing a test is not bad luck. That's just not study.
That's just, exactly. I even landed a phony lawyer when I had the misfortune of being accused of murder. But I will survive, because Maggie Bird always lives to fight another day. And one day, I'll find it. Just you wait and see, sir. I'll find that one single moment of good luck.
You gotta find that exit to paradise.
Ugh. Shin Eop is really gonna pay for this. What are you staring at me like that for? But Maya's right. Whoever it is that thought it was a good idea to use my name and get an innocent girl convicted of murder had better watch out. No, Val, falling from the 9th floor of a building and surviving doesn't seem like bad luck, but it's because she used up all of her good luck there by not dying. I think that's her thought process on that. We'll find him, don't you worry. We'll get Shinny up for you. Thank you. Oh, I'll tell you where Trey Bien is then. Oh, right. The restaurant where the murders took place. Yes, sir. When you go, please tell Mr. Armstrong I said hi. Sure. All right, Nick. Let's go check out this restaurant and its food.
Give her your badge. Give her your badge real quick.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense. That badge, is it real? Of course it's real. That's what they all say, but I've been duped before. Give it to me for a sec. Ah. She bit into it. And I left a few teeth marks, too. I can see that. I just wish I could remember if that means it's real or a fake. I said it was real. I wonder if the fake Phoenix has a badge.
Oh, he sure does.
Oh. Okay. Oh.
So it's also it's canon from now on.
In every single trial, his badge has Maggie Bird's bite marks on it.
Are you serious?
No, I just like thinking about that.
Oh, okay. I was like, it'd be great if the game. Oh, because I guess it's the last game when we play as Phoenix, huh?
Yeah. I mean, for a couple games.
Do we play as him in 6?
5 and 6, yeah, but not the entirety of both games, just select parts.
Okay. So it's kind of like a situation where we played as Mia and then started playing as Phoenix again.
Yeah, like in the 6th game, you play as Apollo just as often as you play as Phoenix.
Ah. Wow, look at this place. Look, more like smell. What is this suffocating scent of flowers in here? Then again, girls like that kind of thing, right? Actually, I'm not all that into it. No one's coming to see us. Maybe there's no one here. Don't be silly, Maya. This is a restaurant and it's open for business. Hello? Anyone here? I don't believe it. There really isn't anyone here. Perfect. Let's get intrusive. If there's no one here, we can take anything we want. Yeah, I suppose we can. Be aggressive. Be aggressive.
So one thing I think is hilarious is that the restaurant's name is spelled wrong.
Trey, is it?
It's got an accent aigu, it should have an accent grave.
What?
Over the E, the accent's the wrong way.
Is it? Listen, I don't know things. This kind of themed restaurants are a real thing in Japan, right? Oh yeah, absolutely.
Those are a real thing in North America, too.
Unfortunately. I just think they're like... It's so tacky. It's so fucking tacky. This must be the table where the murder occurred. I guess so, with all this police tape around it. And that stain must be from the poisoned coffee. Don't go licking the tablecloth, okay, Maya? Why would I lick it? I'm not a cat, you know. I'm not convinced. Then why can I picture you doing just that? I think Maya is a cat. Wow, it's a beautiful winter wonderland out there. Really? Cool, I love snow. Let me see. Huh? It's not white. It's not even snowing. Got you. I was only kidding, Maya. Nick! There are lies that are okay to tell and lies that definitely aren't. All I did was tell an itty-bitty white lie about non-existent white snow. Yeah,
The
but
fact that she fell for that despite having to walk here is the funniest thing ever.
Yeah, it's true. It's like they were outside. They just got here and she immediately fell for it. Hey, what's this? Why does this also remind me of Danganronpa? It's a rack full of fashion magazines, and they're all in French. Why don't you try wearing something a bit more chic sometime, huh, Maya? Yeah, I guess I could. I'm always in my acolyte clothes, aren't I? It'll be fun to wear normal clothes every now and then. I want to see casual Maya! There's something stuffed in behind the rack. Isn't this literally a plot point in that in the thing where Sakura dies in Danganronpa?
Yep, it sure is.
Looks like a sports paper to me. Hey, and look at this! Someone scribbled a little doodle on one of the pages. MC Bomber! What?
And
Wait,
little mask to mask.
why is Mask to Mask there?
It's just a doodle.
It's just a doodle?
It's just a doodle. It's not important.
MC Bomber and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. $100,000, maybe? I wonder what MC Bomber is supposed to be. This paper, it's from December 3rd. This paper's from the day of the poisoning. What? Yeah, it's evidence. A paper from the day of the murder.
Maggie.
This has got to be a clue. I should see if I can find out some more about this paper. Yeah, and then we'll ask Maggie about it. Okay. We should look at this. This? No, we can't. We simply cannot. Okay. Yeah, this is the same dialogue that we got. Yeah, okay. Look at all the little trinkets tucked away in here. I bet Mr. Armstrong collected all of these personally. Let's see, a bouquet of flowers, some potpourri, and look! Fine bone china cups. I never knew you were so cultured. Yeah, you wouldn't have known it from, like, the last case where he was, like, uncultured swine and constantly mocked your culture, Maya. Come on, Maya, this is common knowledge. Any Joe Schmo knows this stuff. Okay. Hey. I know exactly what Maya's gonna think when we look at this. Look, it's one of those magical boxes that spits out money. You know, you're the only person who would ever describe a cash register in that way. Oh, she didn't suggest stealing from it? I'm impressed. She's growing as a person. This table's set nicely. It just needs a customer. What do you think this flower is, Nick? Let's see. Well, it doesn't look like a tulip, and it's not a sunflower, I don't think. Duh! Even I could have told you that. Well, those are the only kinds of flowers I know. Dagnabbit, I'm a lawyer, not a botanist. That's a fucking Star Trek reference.
It sure is.
That's a goddamn Star Trek reference, and I appreciate it. Okay, I think we're done here. Let's go talk to Maggie really quick. Hey, Maggie. Oh, a sports paper. Let's see. Did Gutson Braun manage to defend his heavyweight title? Sorry, Maggie. That paper is actually a month old. It's from the day of the murder. And Gutson got knocked out yesterday, I'm afraid. Oh, no.
They're gonna break my legs.
I found this paper in the magazine rack at Tribulations. Really? That's strange. Tribulations doesn't get newspapers. Mr. Armstrong says he's not really fond of them. Then maybe one of the customers left it behind? Anyway, what I want you to look at is this scribble here. Aha! That's it, sir! MC Bomber, that was the name that was written on the CD. Just as I thought. I guess it wasn't MC Screwdriver after all, huh? So, that's $100,000 must be a down payment for a record deal, right? If someone gave me $100,000, I'd sing for sure. The Master of Kurine or the Spirit of Song or even Maya's theme. Okay, Maya, yeah, she'd sing Turnabout Sisters. So, if the sample CD was on the victim's table, that means this newspaper may have belonged to the victim. You're right! So the victim left this behind on the day of the murder, huh? I think we better step up the investigation, don't you, Nick? Yeah. So now we should go talk to... Gumshoe, I guess? Wait, hello, what? Why is there a pink badger?
It's the, lady badger.
Is that the blue badger's wife?
Yeah, the pink badger.
Aww. It's been ages since we came down to the precinct, huh, Nick? Did we even come down here in the second game? We must have.
I don't think so. Oh, no, you did in the second game. You just haven't yet so far this game.
Yeah. Looks like Gumshoe isn't around. He's got it so easy leaving everyone else to do the work. No, he's out there somewhere. My bet is on the courthouse. He's probably trying to arrange the retrial of this case. Guess that means we should go to the detention center and chat with our killer, huh? Wait. Oh, I guess...
Go back to Tribune.
We have to go back to Tribune because the trigger for somebody being there was presenting the newspaper.
The newspaper, yeah.
After being convicted without a fair trial, I'm not sure killer is the right label. Like, we gotta look at this first. Hey, that's the police mascot, isn't it? It's so cute!
That's the blue badger. It was my idea, I made it, and now it's the national symbol of the police force.
So, what's with the pink one? It's new, right? She's not it, Nick. She's a she, right, Chief?
Yep, meet the pink badger.
So, one's called Blue and the other one's called Pink, but they're both called Badger?
You got it. They're married.
And the Blue Badger beats her every day. Because, the Blue Badger's a cop. Mr. and Mrs. Badger seem to be cuffed together, Chief.
You got it. That's marriage for you.
Ah, the straights are at it again.
He's a boomer.
Whoa, a mascot that's deeper than the deepest of deep oceans. What? I don't think so, Phoenix. I disagree.
I think he was being sarcastic.
Oh. Wait, do I have to go to the detention center? I'm gonna say it every time. Navigation in this game fucking sucks. Oh no.
Oh la la, bonjour. Welcome to La Tribune.
Oh, hello. What happened to Maya? She's frozen stiff. Oh. What? Okay, hold on. Why does it look like Aaron Hansen? Why does he look like Aaron Hansen?
Why does Aaron Hansen look like him?
Yeah, that's also a good point.
Bienvenue. Welcome to Ma Petit Restaurante.
Huh? B Avenue?
Oh no, Ma Petit Tulip.
Hey, Tulip! I like that game! Huh? Me?
Look at this face, like the kitten rejected by its own mother. You are fatigued, no? Alors, you need this. An aromatic bath oil mélange à la narrowly à la rose, my personal recommendation.
You think I need what?
Oui, add a couple of drops of this mixture to la bath water, and voila! It will soothe your body and mind, it's simply fantastique.
Really?
And for la monsieur.
Who? Me?
I love how they demonstrate that he has no idea how to actually speak French because he uses feminine articles for everything.
Yeah.
Look at that face like la puppy rejected by life itself. You are fatigued, no?
This guy's from Quebec.
For you, monsieur, I recommend this. Oil of bergamot. And maybe an hint of, oui.
What?
I will add la
Wait.
peppermint and la clary sage for a fragrance exceptionnel.
I think he just implied that he's gonna add piss to it.
Such an invigorating recipe will bring out your delicious beauty, monsieur.
My beauty?
Alors, if you will be seated, I will bring you the special menu of the day.
Actually, we're not here to eat. We're lawyers.
Maybe monsieur. I know this already, monsieur. You are la Phoenix Wright, no?
Yes. You know me?
Mais oui. I never forget a man who flirts with me, especially in court.
Oh no. I guess he was cross-examined by our mysterious Shiniop. It looks like everyone to do with this case knows who I am already. I wonder what sort of impression Shin Eop's been leaving on people, don't you?
Allow me to introduce myself to you again. I am Jean Armstrong. Enchanté.
Let's just hang on that sprite for a sec. That's a sprite. That sure is a sprite.
That's a great sprite.
That is a great sprite. So, what does très bien mean? I know très, that means 3, right? Tres.
No. Très bien is français. In English, you would say very good.
Oh, very good.
Oui, exactement. La atmosphère est très bien et la cuisine est très bien.
If the food's so good, why aren't there any customers in here? Because a murder happened here, idiot!
A month ago, though. Like,
That's
he's
a good
keeping this up
point.
for publicity.
That's a good point.
My cuisine is not for all. Some people, they do not appreciate la haute cuisine.
I thought everyone liked hot cuisine.
Since I have lost Maggie, I do not have enough hands.
I love that you're voicing this character because, like, I don't know a lick of French. I don't know anything, so like I am actually going to be playing the role of Phoenix in a lot of cases here.
For those who would know, I am certified bilingual. I took 4 years of French in high school,
Oh
so I have a
my
little certificate
God.
because I can speak it.
So you're running this place on your own now?
Oui, for le moment. No one has answered my advertisement. Oh, pour moi.
Please don't eyeball me while you say that.
I am le chef. I am la manager. I am also le trained aromatherapist.
A roaming what?
A practitioner of aromatherapy. La art of soothing la soul with these delicate floral arrangements.
A lot of la. Which is, I don't know. Delicate? The smell coming from that bottle earlier was anything but. So, could you tell me what you know about the incident?
Yeah, it makes me sad to remember it, yet I remember it so well. More than a month has passed since it happened.
Yeah, I guess it's been about a month since Maggie's sentencing.
So, it was the 3rd of last month, just after 1 in the afternoon. A man who was in here for a coffee suddenly became ill.
Because of the poison in his coffee.
That is the truth as I know it. It was Maggie who took his drink to him.
Is Armstrong a JP?
What?
Is he a JP? Like a Jean-Pierre, like that's a I guess it's a Quebec thing.
I can't, off the top of my head, I can't answer that.
Or is it Jean-Paul? I can't remember.
I was in the kitchen, I heard the sound of someone collapsing. And when I came out to see what it was, he was already slumped in his chair.
He was dead?
Mon Dieu, oui, he was dead. Maggie had passed out also.
And this man who died, was he alone?
Oui, monsieur. All alone. I know that Maggie said there was someone else, but
I see.
the police, they asked me many times. Are you sure there was no one else at the table, they asked? But I am not the only one. The old man said the same thing.
Old man? What old man? So who is this old man that you mentioned?
At the time of the murder, there was another customer in here.
What? Someone else saw it?
Mais oui, as usual, he came alone that day. At the time of the murder, he was ill. He saw it too. But he said the same thing, that there was no one else at the victim's table.
But Maggie swears there were 2 people.
Mais, mademoiselle, la lawyer, he could not prove this, no?
About the lawyer. That was me, I suppose?
Mais bien sûr.
Wow! He's the first person who said it wasn't me. Alright. Don't kid yourself, Nick. Now who's the one making stuff up? Yeah, that's not what he said.
Comes from profiles.
Yeah. Who is the old man? Is it the fucking old man from... No, it can't be. Did he do a murder?
Who?
The guy from the last case. No, not the last actual case of Ace Attorney 1. Not Rise from the Ashes, but the, like, official.
Oh, yeah, the boathouse owner, the Yanni Yogi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did do a murder?
Yeah, he did. He murdered Robert Hammond.
So it can't be him.
Yeah, he's in super jail.
He's in super jail and or dead. Alright.
Maggie was a policewoman once, n'est-ce pas?
Yes, but she had to quit for, reasons beyond her control.
Oui, oui, she was less suspect in la murder investigation, no?
Oh, you know about that?
That is why I gave her to la perfume for happiness.
Happiness perfume?
Oui, blended from bergamot, like I have given to you before.
But she's been arrested again, and found guilty this time.
As this is true, the natural aroma of unhappiness must have been very strong.
Just admit it, your perfume doesn't work.
I am not surprised she was la prime suspect, after something like that took place before my very eyes.
Something like what? What's this guy talking about? Does this mean Maggie did have a motive? We've got to ask this guy for more info. Stat. Ooh. Dish the goss. When Maggie took the coffee over to the victim, did anything happen?
Oui, I suppose you could say so.
So what happened?
No, it was nothing.
Look, Maggie says she didn't even know the guy, but she's still been indicted for murder. The prosecution must have come up with some kind of motive.
Oui, it is true.
If there was anything at all between Maggie and the victim, it could be relevant. So please, tell us anything you know. Oh, he lying. He a lying liar who lies. Psyche locks? No way! What are we going to do, Nick? We'll just have to remove... What the? What's wrong? What? The maggots... What? Huh? What? Huh? No! Huh? I had it in my pocket, but it's vanished into thin air. What? But I could see the psyche locks. Maybe that means the Magatama is nearby? I wonder who took it. Who could have possibly... Mr. Armstrong? Could I just confirm something with you again? The table where the victim was sitting. Was anyone else sitting there?
That is a question I would have to ask him yourselves.
Huh? Him?
The old man spends a lot of his time down the park.
Park. Oh, a park? What park's that?
Behind the restaurant, it is called Vitamin Square.
Thank you. Why is it called Vitamin Square?
Je vous en prie, my dear.
Let's go check out this Vitamin Square right now, Nick. That sure is a name for a park. Oh, I understand. I get it. So this is Vitamin Square. Yeah, I see where they get the name from now. The fruits scream vitamins at you. Hey, Nick! That's the guy, right? Isn't that the old man Mr. Armstrong was talking about? That grouchy-looking grandpa? He's throwing seeds out for the pigeons. Maya, he's not throwing seeds for them. He's throwing seeds at them. Oh. Look at that fucking nose.
A big ball sack of a nose.
Wait, is he supposed to be like one of those baboons?
I think maybe. I think he looks like an old carpenter, kind of.
Yeah, he looks like an old carpenter, but he also has one of those weird baboon noses. My company's threat level has just been raised to red. It's Mr. Oldbag. Hold on. I want to look at this really quick, actually. Ooh, there's a magazine here. It's a magazine full of job listings. Do you want to...
I'll do it, yeah.
Okay.
If you don't want to do it, I'll do it.
You can do it.
Okay. You're disgusting, Roe, picking up something else someone else will throw away.
Threw away? Did you throw this away? Are you looking for a job?
That's none of your business.
Sorry, I guess I'll just take the magazine with me then.
I don't want anyone else having it. Give it back.
Too bad. Now that you want it so bad, I don't want to give it up. Eat shit, old man.
Hey, that's mine.
The future is now, old man. Excuse me. Would you mind if I had a word with you?
Yes.
I just want to ask you a couple of questions.
What's the matter with you? Can't you see I'm busy? So you don't like my seeds, eh, pigeons?
He's really chucking those seeds at them. That's gotta hurt.
Go on, eat this.
Excuse me, sir. Can I ask you about Maggie Bird?
I don't know any Maggie Bird.
Yes, you do. Maggie, the waitress at Tribulations.
It's a disgrace, I tell you. An utter disgrace.
A disgrace?
An innocent young girl revealing herself like that.
Revealing? You mean her uniform?
The youth of today, they don't have any shame. No shame, I tell you, not 1 ounce.
Oh, was she, showing a bit too much ankle?
Whatever happened to the old Bushido values of Japan, like honor and modesty?
Oh, I don't like this man. What about me? I'm not wearing anything revealing.
You? Your problem is you lack any sense of grace.
Talk about hitting a girl where it hurts. Oh, poor Maya. Do you go to Tribulations a lot?
That miserable excuse for a restaurant. The garbage they serve in there isn't food. Where's the sushi, the tempura, the rice?
Tribulations is a French restaurant, sir.
Where do you think we are, boy? In Paris? I want real food, not those snooty snacks.
Are they just like going out and saying that we're in Japan?
No, he's canonically from Japan though. Because his occupation is a kimono embroiderer, and they would have a really hard time selling that in California.
Yeah, that's fair.
And what about those shameless girls?
You mean the waitresses?
You can see all the way up to yes, the waitresses. They're practically naked. It's a disgrace, isn't it? Well, isn't it?
Listen, it's not my restaurant.
It's a miserable excuse for a restaurant, that place. Miserable.
He certainly knows the place. He must be a regular. But if he hates it so much, why does he keep going? Are you a regular at that restaurant, sir? It's just, if you dislike it so much, why do you keep going there? Sir?
There you are, you filthy pigeons. You want food? Take that.
He must be hiding something, right? If he is, I should be able to see a psyche lock or two. Oh, wait. I don't exactly have the Magatama right now, huh? Remember, Nick, the Magatama is only on loan. You'd better find it or else... If Pearls ever gets wind of this, I'm going to be in a world of pain. So it's definitely a Tribulations then.
Yeah. Found some new evidence you can show him as well.
What? Him? The job listing? Oh.
Yeah. Oh, mademoiselle.
Yes?
Are you looking for a job?
Oh, shit. What? No, I was just...
Let me see. Your style is un peu différent, but you have a good face.
Different?
Félicitations! You have passed. I will hire you. Bien, come with me.
I'm so hype.
I will teach you everything I know.
Nick! Help! I don't know whether to laugh or feel bad for Maya. Maybe I should do both? Well... He took my Maya! What do I do now? Can I look at stuff? I guess I can look at stuff while he's gone, huh?
You can go check on Gumshoe again as well.
Oh, yeah, that's true. These dialogues have very little flavor when Maya's not here.
Yeah, she's the heart of the team.
Yeah. I mean, I think Maya's the emotional core of the entire game. Like, the entire, first trilogy, it feels. Well, Maya and, her whole, thing with Mia and that whole thing. Oh, yeah, why did I go here? That's not right. Okay, there we go. Well, pal, have you found the evidence yet? The one that's gonna find her innocence? No, not yet. We've only just started our investigation. Well, whatever you need to know, I'll give you the dirt on it. I'm putting off all my other cases for now, pal. Gumshoe's really fired up about this. Oh yeah, one more thing. The retrial's been approved. Court's sitting at 10 a.m. tomorrow. And Godot's gonna be the prosecutor. Oh. Him. But listen up, pal. If Maggie's found guilty again, yes, I'll make sure you get locked up good for it. Got it? That's not a crime, dick.
He's just not realizing he can be corrupt.
So the guilty party was Maggie Bird, huh? Yeah. Back when she was on the police force, you were her mentor when she was a rookie, right? Yeah, I kept a close eye on her. I mean, not too close, you know. Uh-huh. Hey, what's with the funny looks, pal? I was just her, it wasn't anything like... Look, sure I was her boss when she was doing her training, but that was it. Nothing happened. Gumshoe sure is sweating up a storm over nothing. Ah, so that's it. Our big old Gumshoe has a little old crush on Maggie. Yeah, you knew that. I don't like her or anything. I was... Ugh. Note to self, gossip with Maya about this later. Look, pal, don't tell anyone, okay? You've got to keep it a secret, got it? Sure. And would you mind not guessing what I'm thinking all the time? Hey, tell your face, pal, not me. You'd have to be blind not to see what's on your mind. Hey, maybe Gumshoe is a good detective. So, I was wondering, could you fill me in on the victim? Glen Elk. That's... Huh.
What?
That's a palindrome.
It sure is. It's also a palindrome in the Japanese version.
Why?
Because it's fun.
Is that it? Is it
You'll
like...
see.
Is it... Okay. Glen Elk. He was a computer programmer. I see. A programmer. He was just a regular Joe working for a small-time computer firm. Maggie never had any contact with the guy before that day. And all she did was take him his coffee on the day of the murder, pal. Yeah, Maggie also claimed to have never seen the guy before. Did the victim go to the restaurant often? Not according to the chef. He said it was the first time he'd seen the guy. A programmer, and a first-time customer at that. What possible reason could Maggie have had to kill a guy like that? That's what I thought. But a motive was still somehow established in her trial. You're kidding. What was her supposed motive? Sorry, pal. I'm real busy. I haven't even got enough time to sift through these papers. Look into it yourself, okay? What could this motive have been? Why... I'm gonna ask you another question, Dick. Just tell me what the motive was. This isn't really a proper investigation. I'm kind of working on it by myself. Oh, that's right. The judge already ruled in the case, and all the evidence is in already. The only problem is with Maggie's testimony. Yeah, doesn't sound very good for us, huh? Look, pal, I've got a mountain of papers on this case to look over before tomorrow. So I'm just gonna say this. Maggie Bird's no liar. She's... Okay, so she's a bit out there and a bit off base sometimes. But she was a good cop. That's not exactly complimentary, you know. So what do you think really happened?
Phoenix said F cops.
Yeah. And just how contradictory is her testimony? The biggest problem with Maggie's testimony is the number of people at the table. Yeah, my thoughts exactly. Maggie still insists there was another guy sitting with the victim. Right, but get this. Everyone else in the place says the guy was alone, even the chef. And then there's that CD. CD? Oh, yeah, she did mention something about a CD. Yeah. But other guys turned that place upside down. There was no CD. What? Not on the table, not anywhere in the whole restaurant, pal. But didn't Maggie say the victim was wearing an earpiece, too? Yeah, but that was with a portable radio in the front pocket of his hoodie. Fuck off. No way. A radio? He didn't have a CD player? You got it. Your phone never explained that contradiction at all. Come to think of it, the owner of Tribulations didn't mention that CD either.
I don't know why, but I get the feeling Mr. Armstrong's got something to hide. No, the psyche locks, doofus! Okay. Is that it?
You can show him some profiles and some evidence.
The chef of Tribulation, huh? You know what that chef said to me? Ooh la la, your body is full of toxins. And then he gave me this bottle. What's in it? I don't know. The label says juniper. I'm under orders to put a few drops of it in my bath every day. Under orders? Yeah, you know, there's something about that lady. I mean, guy. Hello, what? Huh? You can't stop thinking about him? Not like that, pal. Give me a break. He's not my type. I mean, I can't stop thinking that he's involved with this case somehow.
Gumshoe accidentally confirming he does have a type for guys.
Gumshoe confirmed gay. Or at least bi.
He's a bicon. He's a crush on Maggie, but he also has a crush on Edgeworth.
Yeah, exactly. Armstrong's not like Edgeworth at all. Sounds like he knows a little something more about our charming chef. Okay. Why did he have that slip with the pronouns?
So I guess because Armstrong actually effeminate.
I guess? Is that it? Is that the whole thing?
I think so, yeah.
Ugh.
The localizers for this game did an entire post about this case and how it was difficult to translate because in the Japanese version, Armstrong is like confirmed like a drag performer essentially.
Oh, okay.
But because there wasn't a common perception of what like drag was in the West around this time, like it wasn't like a known thing.
Yeah, RuPaul didn't exist back then.
Yeah, they had to kind of work around that and make it a bit more homogenous, effeminate, instead of like 100% being a drag performer. But Janet Hisu, the lead localization writer, said that if she were to go back and rewrite the case today, she would make it confirm that they're a drag performer, and then use different names in the text box depending on whether he's in character or not.
Oh! Yes, that makes sense. That would explain the pronoun slip.
Yeah, so if he's in character, it's Jean with two N's and an E, and when it's just the chef, it's just Gean.
Yes. Okay, that makes sense. That does make sense. Okay, I got it. So what exactly is it that caught your attention about the chef at Tribulation? It's, kind of hard to say. The guy's probably not even connected with the case anyway. Hey, come on, detective. Didn't you say you'd give me the dirt on anything? Well, this sort of stuff is kinda unimportant, gossipy stuff, you know, pal? Look, how about this? You go to Tribulation and investigate the place yourself. And if you find out anything suspicious about the guy, you report back to me, okay? Don't suppose I get a choice in this, huh? Guess I better find out more about the chef of Tribulation and report back to Gumshoe. Okay.
Maybe ask him about the sports magazine?
Oh, yeah. What's that, a sports paper? Yeah, I found it in the magazine back at Tribulation. It's dated the same day as the murder. You may be onto something here. And take a look at this. Oh, that's not Gumshoe. And take a look at this. See this writing here? MC Bomber. Hey! What is it? I've heard that name somewhere before. Yeah, MC Bomber. Wow, he actually seems to be thinking for once. Ah, it's no good. I can't remember. And he goes back to being the Gumshoe we all know and love. Hey, pal, I'm gonna borrow this paper for a bit, okay? I want to get a handwriting analysis done on this scribble. Handwriting, huh? It'd be good to know more about that in any case. Thanks, pal. I bet this will turn out to be an interesting clue. Alright. Well, that's out of our hands now. Alright. So we have to go to the detention center and then to Tribulation?
Yep, because Maggie only gave you directions from the detention center. You can't possibly go for anywhere else.
The scent of flowers sure is strong. It's almost making me dizzy. Okay, you're literally a character from 13 Sentinels. That's Ryoko. It's Ryoko Shinonome. Oh, hello. Okay. Who was that just now? A customer? She had sort of a dark aura about her. Ah, welcome, bienvenue. Wow, what a cute voice.
Ah! Oh, this game's good. This is a very good video game. Game of the year.
Game of the year.
Game of the year every year. Oh, it's just you, Nick. Maya. Well, how do I look? Maybe you should quit being a spirit medium. Maybe, but it's kind of boring being a waitress. I mean, you're my first ever customer. Then who was that woman I just saw? Oh, since you're here, you might as well have something to eat. I am kind of hungry, actually. Alright. So, how do you like your new job, Maya? I never knew there was so much for a waitress to do. Take people's orders, bring them their food, make coffee, work the cash register. Of course, we need a customer before I can do any of that. Yeah, it's a nice looking restaurant. It's a shame more people don't come. Don't forget about the ultra cute waitress. Check out my give me a tip smile. Aww. I tip Maya very well. Hey Nick, why don't you order something? The chef's preparing a tasty lunch set at the moment, or so he says. How much is it? It's a twin tea set, so it's $20, of course. The twin tea set? I believe I'll be taking a pass on that. It's kind of expensive. 20 bucks? That's not that expensive for like a nice restaurant, right?
For a cup of tea, yeah.
Oh. But is it What? But you can't! Come on, Nick, it's not every day I get to be a waitress. I want to try carrying plates and working the cash register. How about cleaning the toilets? That should keep you busy. Yeah, right. Maybe later. About the lunch. Oh, a fine choice, sir. No, God damn it. Kitchen, a lunch special, please. With all the extras, drink, side salad, dessert, and gift. I don't need any of that. Just a moment, please, sir. Oh my god, I love her. Maya's really getting into this. So how much is this set lunch then? $20, huh? But with the drink, side salad, and dessert, it's $45? Hey, wait a sec, Maya. Sorry to keep you waiting, sir. Here you are, our deluxe fortify lunch set. Oh, it's like a Monster Hunter meal. Whoa. A dish inspired by lobster and abalone fricassee. Fricassee? Whatever. Fricassee? With a balsamic vinaigrette. Bon appetit.
Bon appetit.
Bon appetit. Come on, Nick, hurry up and try it already. Also, I like how she said it's inspired by these things, not that it has these things in it.
Yeah.
Lobster, huh? Alright, down the hatch it goes. Well, are you hungry, Maya? I'm starving! Here, it's yours. Really? She doesn't like it either. Remember, Maya, my wallet doesn't print money, so you better polish off that plate. I just remembered, I've got to clean the toilets! Hey! You can't be in that much of a hurry to clean the toilets. Huh. Wait, what? That's evidence?
Yep.
How does that guy manage to make good food taste so bad? Hey, Nick, you want to take a peek at the kitchen? The kitchen, huh? Not a bad idea. Now, what was it that Maggie said again? In the kitchen, you're going to see all of the chef's greatest secrets. In the kitchen? That sounds tasty. Okay. Hey, wait up, Maya! What is it? I'm pretty busy right now. Weren't you going to show me around? There goes my plan to find some cool clue and show it off in your face. I'd better conduct the search in the kitchen myself. Okay. Okay, let's look at the kitchen. Oh. You know, it looks kind of grimy, actually. And
See,
here it is.
The thing about all that lace in there, that would be a friggin' magnet for germs and bacteria.
That would also catch fire very easily.
It sure would. It seems like a very, very poor design decision.
Yeah, this is not a good idea, actually.
Like, I used to bartend, and one Valentine's, one of the assistant managers wanted to put up like doilies and other stuff as like fancy like accoutrements kind of, and the manager was like, "No way! Do you have no idea how disgusting those things get? Like they are, like bacteria and germs cling to them like fleas in a dog."
Yeah. So this is. So we should get a health inspector in here.
Narcon Armstrong.
Yeah. And here it is, the famous Très Bien kitchen. It's my first time in here too, actually. There is a weird atmosphere in here, that's for sure. Mr. Armstrong will be back soon, so we better search quickly. Chop, chop! What is this? Oh, it's all his fucking perfume.
More importantly, what's that on the counter there?
Oh, I didn't even fucking see that. What's this? It looks like a treasure chest or something. Wow, look at all these little bottles. Oh, they're aromatherapy oils. He's got so many, they're overflowing onto the floor. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 98, 99, 100. They're all the same, too. Hey, wait a minute. What is it? There's one bottle that's different from all the others. Oh. Well, what do you know when it doesn't have a label either? And it doesn't smell. It's ricin. So what's that liquid inside then, I wonder? Hey, Nick, we should borrow this. I mean, look how many bottles he's got. He won't miss one, will he? Alright. Alright, that's definitely like a poison. No, I know I'm in a French restaurant. I've never heard of most of these seasonings. Hey, Nick, the container has oyster sauce? What's that? Isn't that used in Chinese food? Yeah? Ah, look! Oh, that's not Maya. Ah, look! Right there on the counter! My Magatama! What's it doing there? What indeed? Why? Okay. Why would Armstrong take that? Nobody knows what it does. That's
Some people
weird.
take things for no reason.
I guess that's true. Now this is one large mirror. I bet this is where he makes himself look pretty. There's a book on the dresser. Clarence Armstrong's Bedtime Literature. Clarice? Clarice. What did I say? Did I say Clarence? I don't care. Not exactly Pulitzer Prize material, is it? It looks like a collection of poems he's written. Poems? Cool! Read one out! Oh no. And say it in your best French accent, with intensity, okay? Okay, here's one. It's called Printemps?
Printemps. It's spring.
I like how Phoenix actually does this very poorly. The two of them, like actors from a film, the coffee still undrunk. Sweet nothings over too soon on that sad Sunday morning. The foolish cocktail so delicious. Takes the last sip of your tea and I know what I will do. I must lie to you. I must. What does any of that mean? Huh? That's it? Yep, that's a poem for you. Alright. Yeah, so this is the... Oh. Whoops. So we found the Magatama. That's probably the trigger for Jean being back in... Are they gonna mention how flammable these are? Nope. Doesn't matter, I guess. Alright, I guess we're done here? Oh. Or... not?
You can go back to the park.
Yeah, but... Oh, yeah, because the old man... Right, he was lying to me. Hello? The old guy's not here anymore. Drat. And I still have some unanswered questions for him. What is this doing here? A scooter, huh? Who'd leave it right in the middle of a park like this? The wheel guard and the light are busted. I guess it must have been in an accident. It's totally wrecked.
Are you okay if I take this guy?
Yeah? What the fuck? Whoa! Look at this fucking guy!
Hey, what do you think you was doing with my bike?
No, I was just...
Oh, you just been messing with my new ride? Is that what you've been doing?
You ride a pink scooter, sir? Wait!
Listen, he's super secure in his masculinity.
Wait, it just clicked. His fucking hair.
Yeah.
New ride? Isn't that kind of an old model?
Oh, he was gonna pay for this.
It wasn't me. I was just passing by.
Hey, the news of that one that covered my saddle in crap, huh? Oh, he was gonna pay, you catch my drift?
No, wait a sec. I'm not a pigeon, so I couldn't have done it.
Wise guy, eh? I oughta beat you so hard it'll feel like you was smooching the express train.
He literally has some Blanca animations. Uh-oh.
You better watch your back. This ain't over. I'm gonna round up a group of lawyers and then you's gonna pay.
Actually, I'm a lawyer myself.
What do you say?
I'm Phoenix Wright, attorney at law.
Oh.
Alright.
Phoenix Wright? You saying you, Phoenix Wright?
Yeah, I am.
So, you a wise guy too, huh? Cause I'm Phoenix Wright. The one and only.
Okay, well, alright. We found Shin Eop, I guess. What?
Out of my way, I got a cruise.
He's gone. Surely that guy wasn't my phony, was he? He wasn't anything like me! Guess I better make a note of the scooter.
Pathetic.
Oh, it's you.
You threats from a rat like that. And you look like a pigeon that's got seeds in its eyes.
Have you been here the whole time then?
I was in that strawberry. I had some thinking.
You were hiding from him. More like you had some cowering to do. Okay, so we can ask him about this. And then... There we go. Whoa! I knew it. This old guy has got something to hide, but what could it be? Can we do this?
I don't think you can break it yet.
Probably not. Okay, so... Now what? But it's the only thing I have available.
Can you go back to Gumshoe?
Oh. Oh yeah, the bottle!
Hey! Fake Phoenix is such a good character. I freaking love him.
Fake Phoenix is so good. Hey, you're just in time!
Like, the sheer audacity of this man. This, like,
Yeah.
6'5" man with cherry red skin just showing up one day in our blue suit and be like, yeah, I'm that Phoenix Wright guy.
I'm Phoenix Wright, that's me. What is it, Detective Gumshoe? The lab got back to me about that newspaper you gave me. You must mean the sports paper with the memo scribbled on it. So, what did they say? Did the analysis turn up anything? They said the doodle was written by the victim, Glenn Elk, no doubt about it. I expected as much. The victim took the paper with them to the restaurant on the day of the murder. That's our best interpretation of the facts at the moment. Alright. MC Bomber. I get the feeling I've heard that name somewhere before. Oh well, I guess it'll come back to me. Don't forget to oh, I accidentally skipped that. Since when did I start taking orders from Gumshoe? Although, I get the feeling there's something I need to show him. Yes, the bottle. You got one of those aroma bottles too, huh? Only this one doesn't smell. Huh? I don't get you. This was mixed in with all the other aromatherapy bottles, but it's not the same. It doesn't even look the same, wouldn't you agree? A cologne bottle that doesn't smell, huh? Smells like a skunk to me, pal. Mind letting me borrow that bottle for a while? I want to send it to the lab for analysis. The victim was poisoned, so the contents of this bottle are pretty important. I had a hunch there was something funny about that stuff. You suspect Sean Armstrong? I've got that guy's number. I know what his secret is. Oh, he gave you his number, huh? That must be the same secret Gumshoe was talking about before. I guess I'd better fill you in on the details. About this Armstrong guy's secret, I mean. Alright. So, what's Mr. Armstrong's secret? You ever had lunch at Tribulations, pal? Yes. So, how was it? To put it nicely, it was inedible. Hey, don't worry about me being nice around me, pal. You and I both know the reason that place is so empty is because of the food.
I mean, this place is clean. The place is clean, and he's got a girl like Maggie as a waitress, so... yeah, I guess it's probably the food. The real scoop on the guy is he's up to his ears in debt. Really? How much does he owe? This is a copy of his loan contract. He's about $500,000 in the red. Holy shit.
Yep.
$500,000? Are we talking dollars? Yeah. Hey, if it was sterling, he'd really be in trouble. Sorry, that figure just took me by surprise. Yeah, this case is full of surprises. And I'd be willing to bet that chef's got something to do with most of them. That's my hunch. Okay, so I imagine now we would have enough evidence to talk to Jean again. Oh, why? Oh, wait. Oh, okay. All right. But that is out of order. Go to the detention center. Go to Tribulations. Wait, or not?
I think you can break the old man's locks now. You have it on evidence.
But all I got there was the debt.
Exactly. And he got something back, too.
Oh, the sports paper. Wait. The owner of the loan is Tender Lender. That's a fucking name. Is it a company?
Tender Lender. Yeah.
It's time you told me the truth. Why are you a regular at a restaurant that you dislike so much?
Isn't it obvious? People only have one reason to go to restaurants. To eat.
To eat?
God,
Is that the
doing
whole
this voice
truth?
actually hurts my throat.
Yeah, welcome to my life, huh?
What do you mean?
I don't think you go to the restaurant for the food at all.
You insolent brat, how dare you accuse me? What proof have you got?
I can tell that not you nor anyone else in the world would go to that place for its food. The proof is in the pudding, or in this case, the lunch menu.
That's the twin tea set.
The food at Tribulations is terrible and expensive.
You're wrong. It's cheap.
Huh?
I'm rich. I inherited money when I was a boy. Yes, I'm stinking rich. I haven't done a ton of work since I was born, other than feeding the pigeons.
What a load of crock!
I'll tell you another story, but the price, it's nothing to me.
So you're saying that you go there because you got money to burn?
Exactly. I have so much cash, I go for a swim in my money all every day.
Unfortunately, that's a lie.
He's not Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah, you're not Scrooge McDuck.
What?
You don't have money to burn, you're flat broke. Wait, what? What? Why? What?
Or what he was looking at?
Job listings.
Yeah.
This is yours, right?
My magazine.
Why would a rich retiree be looking for a job?
I was... so what? So I was looking for a job. I'm buying a lot at the moment. I need spending money.
Oh,
I don't go to that restaurant for food. I just go for the cappuccino.
yeah, I think you mean a cappuccino. Anyway, how much does a cappuccino cost there?
$8.
Holy shit. Those had better be some golden beans.
What's your problem? You think a poor man would be better off drinking dishwater, do you? Is that it?
No, I wasn't thinking that. I was wondering if the coffee there is really that great.
No, it's not. But anyway, yes, that place has free newspapers to read every day.
Newspapers?
Exactly. They don't want me hanging out at home, so I go there.
I'm sorry, sir, but there are no free papers to read at Tribulations. I present... Wait. Yeah?
Yeah, that's sports paper.
Take a look at this.
What is it?
It's a newspaper I found behind the magazine rack at Tribulations.
So, what of it?
This was the only paper there, and it's dated more than 1 month ago.
What?
Do you see what I'm getting at here? That restaurant doesn't get newspapers. This is just one that a customer happened to leave behind. Tell me, why are you so determined to hide the truth?
I'm not hiding anything.
I'm going to have to put this guy out of his misery. Listen, the real reason why you go to Tribulations is Maggie?
Yeah.
She is pretty cute.
What are you asking me about the girl for?
She was the waitress at Tribulations. Therefore, the answer to the mystery of why an old man would drink expensive coffee at a terrible restaurant is the waitress.
He's
And you are probably telling the truth there, because you weren't looking at the girl's face, but at her outfit.
oh,
That's the truth, isn't it? You became a regular at the restaurant because of the waitress's uniform. That uniform is all you can think about, isn't it?
can't take it.
To you, that waitress was your...
Enough, please, no more. Stop saying that word. Stop saying waitress. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
He's getting excited. Fuck yeah. Eat shit, old man. Sir?
Yes, it's true. I was there for the young girl.
Don't say
I
that.
am a dirty, wicked, sinful old devil.
Don't say young girl. No, I didn't mean it like that.
I even get one of those lousy cups of cappuccino every time for $8. All because of the serving girl. Punish me. Lock me up. Send me to horny jail.
Really, that's not what I'm here for.
You'll be the same. Another 20 years and you'll understand what it's like. You'll know how painful it is to be an old man like me.
No, really, listen, sir.
Stop calling me that. I have a name, you know, boy. Show some respect. I'm Victor Kudo.
Victor Kudo, that's a good name.
It sure is.
Sorry, Mr. Kudo.
You young ones think you know it all, don't you? Well, I'm not saying another word. I won't tell you anything more.
This guy was in the restaurant at the time of the incident, which means I have to hear his testimony one way or another. I don't believe this. I even broke his psyche locks and everything. I guess I'll have to try to get him when he's in a better mood, which will be never because he's literally a grumpy old man.
Well, you know, it puts him in a good mood.
Oh. Oh. How?
Ask him about her.
Oh, wait. There we go. Hey, Maya, would you mind coming with me for a while? Huh? Me? Why? There's something I really want to ask that old man. Sure, okay. I'll just get changed. No. No, hang on. Can you go like that? I guess? I hope Maya's not getting the wrong idea there. Sir?
You again? Well. I see.
Nick? His eyes are burning into me. It's okay. I think it's going pretty well. Huh?
You're such a little child. Run along and play on the slide, alright?
Play on the slide? Ugh, we were so close. Just a little more and you would have spilled. He's horny, huh? How can we crack this guy?
Excuse me, please, sir.
Quiet, can't you see I'm feeding the pitch?
Oh, there we go! That's the good shit. Mia?
Wow.
If you don't mind, sir, I'd really love to talk with you.
Yes. Oh, of course, certainly. I'm Victor Kudo.
Even from beyond the grave. Wow. Booba.
It would be such a funny, like, channel emote. It was just his face, but like, it's the Booba Pepe.
You mean the man who died drinking the Javachino?
It's like he's a different person.
It was quite a shock, even for me. It was a strange-looking boy. The girl took the Javachino over to him, you see.
And was the customer alone?
Definitely. He was the only person at the table.
That's weird.
Then he took one sip of his Javachino, and he said something like, "Ugh, and collapsed, dead.
Oh, how terrifying.
Mia, you're so good. You're so good at this. Oh,
You're so
God
good at
damn it.
listening, aren't you? I'll tell you anything, whatever you want to know.
He certainly seems to be telling the truth now. But it looks like Mr. Kudo didn't see this other man either.
Do you like the food at Travian?
Oh, well, of course. I'm really quite a sophisticated man. I was a young businessman once, you know. I set up a casino in London.
Really? How interesting.
Hmm.
She knows exactly how to talk to weird dudes.
Yeah.
Eating the food at that restaurant really takes me back to my days in France.
What a lovely story.
London's in England, not France.
Oh, yes, France is wonderful. I'd love to show you around the city sometime. It's too much. I can't take it. I want
France.
What the fuck is happening now?
Mia's like, haha, you're so funny.
I can't believe Mia's laughing at the guy. Ugh.
You visit Travian a lot, don't you?
Of course. I mean, yes. I'd like to come and see you there.
Really? Oh, you flatter me so. The owner would be delighted to welcome you, I'm sure.
Oh.
Be careful of that chef, my dear.
Oh. The chef? You mean Mr. Armstrong?
That's right. The man's an ex-con.
What? He's an ex-con?
Whatever did Mr. Armstrong do?
Oh no, those eyes. I can't take this.
Mia's really got this guy eating out of her hand.
He
Ah.
steals things from his customers.
So he's a kleptomaniac.
Yeah.
From his customers?
Loves handkerchiefs, little things mainly. He's a pilferer, so you be careful around him, my dear.
Are you sure about this?
Of course, he was arrested for it once. I was there when it happened, having my cappuccino.
He really is a regular.
You write your little haiku about it.
A haiku?
A Japanese poem. It'll explain all you need to know about the chef.
Convicted before, a wicked man or woman, repeat offender. Alright.
If he takes anything again, you let me know. If it's not too expensive, I'll buy you a replacement.
Poor guy. He couldn't do enough for Mia. Well, that worked.
Okay, Phoenix. That's about as much as I can do to help.
Thanks, Mia. We got some really important information thanks to you.
Honestly, I can't believe Maya called me for something like this.
Yeah, she's like, hey, Mia, I need to just sex it up a little bit, okay?
It's such a funny, mundane use of her.
Wait, why is she dressed as normal now?
Because she's done her day job.
Oh, no. I guess it's about time to wrap up today's investigation. Had enough of being a waitress? Yeah, plus no one came to the restaurant.
Oh la la, Mademoiselle Maya. No. How can you leave me like this?
I'm sorry. That reminds me. Mr. Armstrong had a Psyche Locker 3, didn't he? I'm going to have to break those. So this is the last thing we do before the trial. Mr. Armstrong, I hope you won't mind, but I'd like to have another word with you.
Volunteer, of course.
Okay, so I have to present the Magatama. By the way, hey, look what I found, sir. Suspicious, that.
Pretty suspicion.
Wait,
What is happening? I do not like this horrible feeling.
can they feel it when I do it? I have to know the truth. What happened that day?
Hello, I will confess everything. Just don't hurt me.
Huh? Well, that was a new world record.
It was a lottery ticket.
A lottery ticket? What?
That man who died here had a lottery ticket. For $500,000.
$500,000?
Oui, but after the incident, this ticket
It mysteriously disappeared.
disappeared.
Oh, you know, I wonder if somebody needs $500,000. The ticket disappeared?
This was the motive that the prosecution gave for Maggie. They said that she poisoned the man to get the $500,000 lottery ticket.
Huh.
So I don't know enough about lotteries to know, but like, don't you have to present like proof that you bought it in order to cash it in?
Typically, yeah, because they don't want to pay those out, so they do everything they can to kind of like not have to. So you have to have like a receipt, and you have to have like ID, and you have to have like all this shit.
Yeah, like if you bought one of those with cash, like how would they know that you, like how would they be able to trace it back to you? Like there'd be no record that you bought it, right?
Yeah, which is why when you buy a lottery ticket, it's always recommended that you keep the receipt and you also sign it when you buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't you tell me about this sooner?
Mais alors,
You've been trying to hide this information about the lottery ticket from me. And I want to know the reason why.
oh no, monsieur, you doubt me, but I have confessed to you everything I know.
Mr. Armstrong, the $500,000 lottery ticket. I think I know who took it. I think the winning ticket was stolen by this person. You. Literally you. Mr. Armstrong, I believe there's a very high probability that it was you. Wow. That is one piercing scream even for a man like him.
Mais pourquoi moi? Why? You have no evidence. I am not Mask the Mask. I am not the kind of person who steals the property of others.
I like that callback. Sorry to disappoint you, Mr. Armstrong, but I have evidence to the contrary. I present to you proof that you have stolen from others in the past.
What is this? A poem? Oh, monsieur, you know me so well. I adore poems.
Please read it, and put some feeling into it.
Convicted before, a wicked man or woman. Repeat offender.
I'm sorry to have to bring it up, Mr. Armstrong, but you have been arrested for stealing from your customers before, haven't you?
Mon Dieu. Le mensonge. You are the liar.
You deny it?
Do not make la false accusation, s'il vous plaît. So, do you have any proof? I want to see la incontestable proof that I have ever stolen from one of my customers.
The Malgatama. It seems old habits die hard, Mr. Armstrong.
What is that?
This is my Magatama, and I found it in your kitchen.
No.
Wow, that scream just about broke some windows.
Oui. I have a weakness for little trinkets and figurines. My hand, it just slips out. I cannot stop it.
Just imagining Armstrong with like a shelf full of Funko Pops.
That's why he's in debt. Buying every
That's
Funko
why
Pop.
he's in debt, yeah. You've stolen handkerchiefs, gloves, and other things from your customers, right?
Oui, it is la truth. I am just a timid little girl inside, monsieur. A timid little girl. Besides, this time it was not a small trinket, oui. It was $500,000. Mais non, why would I steal it? I have no need for such money.
Really now?
Oh, monsieur, what is it?
Isn't it true that you're in some pretty serious trouble? And that you are in desperate need of a large amount of cash? This restaurant is deep in the red, isn't it?
Huh?
You have a loan to the tune of $500,000. That lottery ticket would have wiped out your debts. Well, Mr. Armstrong, what do you have to say for yourself now? Hell yeah. We do it. Okay. Mr. Armstrong, you said that the victim had a winning lottery ticket for $500,000. How did you know he had something like that in the first place?
The man, he was listening to the radio with his earpiece.
Maggie said something about that too.
The winning number was announced on the news, I think. All of a sudden, he exploded. Yes, $500,000, he shouted.
Well, that's a pretty clear indication that he won the lottery. And the ticket?
Oui, he had all of his tickets spread out on the table. I was so desperately in need of money, so I...
Put the poison in his coffee?
No.
Oh, you naughty man. I simply helped myself to one of these tickets.
What? That's you, Mina.
Oh, sorry. The victim collapsed and Maggie passed out. I thought to myself, pourquoi pas? He had so many of them.
Yeah, but only one of them was the winning ticket, right? How could you do that, Mr. Armstrong? Maggie was arrested because of you!
No, this is not true. I did not take it. La ticket for $500,000, I mean.
But you just told us you did! You said you took a ticket!
I know, ma fille. It was not.
Huh? Huh? Ah! Fuck! Mr. Godot! What in the heck are you doing here?
Ugh. This is without a doubt the worst coffee I've ever tasted, Mr. Armstrong.
He came in here for coffee? Does his craving for coffee know no bounds? Was he here the whole time?
Perhaps Mr. Armstrong stole one of the victim's tickets on the day in question. I am la airhead, no? Just a pretty little girl who everyone's laughing at.
I like Armstrong. But in that case, Maggie shouldn't be the only one under suspicion.
You had the wrong ticket.
What?
Mr. Armstrong made off with the winning ticket's pretty neighbor.
So, the ticket he took was worthless?
Not quite. He did win something. $1.
Oh.
You see, I'm just a pretty face. Besides my looks, I have nothing.
So, what happened to the winning ticket then? The one he meant to steal?
Indeed. What did happen to him? I don't like spoiling myself by watching trailers, so we'll just all wait and see how the movie turns out tomorrow. Well,
Oh, shit.
how is man that dorky so cool?
Yeah, how is he so cool? I don't understand.
Voila, you two time to laugh at the pretty little airhead.
Looks like I won't be needing this note anymore. Looks like we got a new mystery now. Namely, where did the winning ticket go? I've got a bad feeling about this. Well, anyway. We can't let Maggie suffer any longer for this, and certainly not again. Oof. I think that's where we're gonna call it today, because I don't want to start a whole section of trial.
That is very fair.
Yeah, that'll be a good. I feel like that'd be at least an hour and a half. So hey, this case is fucking cool so far.
Yeah,
I like every character that we've met.
It's a good it's a good case. I like it's a contentious one because some people like are upset that it's not serious or that like the characters are too goofy or whatever. But I think it's really fun.
What the fuck is up with the girl with the bandage on her head?
I don't know. I guess
She's
we'll see.
literally just the character from 13 Sentinels. It's crazy.
You mean the character from 13 Sentinels is literally just her?
No.
Of operations, Luka.
It's like how the last case ripped off Persona 5. This case is ripping off 13 Sentinels. All right. Hey, Mina. Thank you for joining me today.
It was my pleasure, as always.
Hey, tomorrow, I'm so fucking excited. We're gonna play Nier tomorrow, and I'm gonna be reunited with my wife. God, I'm so excited. I played a little bit of Replicant Remake, and it's good. It's really good.
This is the Luka family time happy hour, isn't it? We got your daughter, and then we got your wife.
And then we got my wife. Yeah. So that's cool. And then I guess we'll continue Ace Attorney on Monday. God, it sucks so much having to wait that long.
I mean, we can do it on Friday as well if you want.
But I'm doing House Flipper on Friday. I want to play House. Well, I guess I'll just. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Hey, thank you to everybody for joining me today. I love you all. I hope you all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or night. And as always, good sleep.
Bye, everyone.